Chapter 102. With a clear chirp of a bird, a golden hawk flaps its wings and rushes out of the abyss. The sky in the lost land is so blue. Mountains and water coexist with each other. There are ancient trees and streams. Deer are drinking water and tigers are attacking sheep. Everything is so peaceful and beautiful. When all of this was looked down from high up in the sky, it was even more magnificent. The dream of mankind had never left flying, which was why the starry sky was so bright and mysterious that people yearned for it. That was why the immortals in the myths who rode on the clouds were envied and enjoyed incense. She has taken a plane before, but it's a totally different concept from what she is seeing now. When Lin Luoran looks down from Goldie's back, she has the feeling of a cultivator. What is cultivation? Isn't it about flying freely in the world? Li Shi shouted. If she were not in the sky, she would have stood up and jumped. Otherwise, she would not be able to express her inner excitement. She is just a girl from an ordinary family. When she was 7, her master found that she has the Taoist root of the nature of gold. She was taken back to her master's school to cultivate. In the beautiful mountains, the little girl's heart is as clear as a mirror. Naturally, her master will give priority to a genius like her. Therefore, in her cultivation career, Li Shi has never known what competition is. She doesn't know how sinister people can be, she doesn't need to compete at all. Her master only asks her to cultivate hard. Her parents who stay in the secular world can live a rich life and she has a bright future. This kind of mind is suitable for cultivation, but it's not enough to be aggressive. Li Shi has the Taoist root of a single nature, which is hard to come by in 100 years. Her master's hope is not only to lay foundation. Besides, the nature of gold is the main attack. Cultivators must have the drive to match it. Otherwise, the gap between their state of mind and body will hinder their cultivation. However, compared with her peers, Li Shi's path is too smooth. Lin Luoran is in the middle stage of training qi while Lin Luoran is in the late stage of training qi. Lin Luoran is in the middle stage of training qi while Lin Luoran is in the late stage of training qi. Lin Luoran and Lin Luoran are only one small level apart, but there is such a huge gap in strength. Besides, Lin Luoran knows spells of the water and has used the binding spell of the wood. That is to say, Lin Luoran has at least 2 Taoist roots. Sitting on Goldie's back, Li Shi sighs at the beautiful scenery. At the same time, she has a little fighting spirit in her heart. Sister Lin is not a genius of a single nature, but she is already so powerful. Li Shi should work harder in the future. Li Shi doesn't want to be the first one, but she also doesn't want to be trapped on the cliff for 3 days and wait for her senior brothers and sisters to save her. Of course, Lin Luoran doesn't know that her appearance will bring such a big shock to this inexperienced little girl. Even if she knew, she would only think it was a good thing. The path of cultivation was long. If she was really the last cultivator in this world, that would be truly tragic. Senior sister, look over there. Li Shi points at a place down the cliff and suddenly shouts. Lin Luoran looks at the direction where Li Shi is pointing and finds that it is a forest. From their height, they can only see that the trees are full of fruits, but they can't tell what kind of fruit trees they are. Anyway, the trees are so large that they almost cover the whole hill. Seeing the look on Li's face, Lin Luoran knows that Li is greedy. Li loves delicious food and she never tries to hide it. This reminds Lin Luoran of Baojia, who must be sick at the foot of Mount Qingcheng. Lin Luoran shakes her head and smiles. She can't turn down Li's desire. Besides, Goldie is also screaming. It must be thirsty after spending so much time with Lin Luoran and Lin Luoran. Lin Luoran instructs Goldie to find a place to land. When Goldie spreads its wings, its back is 2 meters wide and its wings are 7 or 8 meters wide. That is why it can fly high with 2 people on its back. Now that Goldie is going to land, it needs a spacious place. Goldie hovers for a while and finds an open place. It rushes down. Li Shi is so scared that she grabs its feathers tightly. Lin Luoran has to hold Goldie's neck tightly to avoid being thrown off. Goldie coos and slows down. Lin Luoran can sense its mood and is amused. It seems that Goldie is taking revenge on Li Shi for teasing it on the cliff. Goldie is indeed a psychic bird. As they get closer, Lin Luoran and Li Shi see that they are in a peach forest. Pink and big peaches are hanging on the short peach trees. Lin Luoran can smell the fragrance of fruits from afar. Taking a breath, Lin Luoran feels that it is really fragrant. Lin Luoran gets down from Goldie's back and takes Li Shi with her. Goldie doesn't wait for Lin Luoran's order. The short peach tree is only half the height of a person. Goldie only needs to jump a little to reach the top. However, this silly eagle has a more direct way. It flaps its wings. Even the golden knife spell can't penetrate its wings. The peaches are so fragile that they fall to the ground. Goldie picks up a big peach, holds it in its beak and shakes it to Lin Luoran. Li Shi, who has always disliked Goldie, is finally overwhelmed by its cuteness. Li Shi, wants to pick up the peaches that Goldie has knocked down. Goldie stares at her with its eagle eyes and spreads its wings to stop her. Li Shi, sighs and pouts. She goes to the peach tree next to her and finds the biggest and reddest one. She bites it angrily. However, although the skin of the peach looks crisp, the inside is actually ripe. Li Shi, takes a bite and the peach juice splashes all over her face, which makes her jump again. Seeing Goldie's short cry and flapping its wings, Lin Luoran almost bursts into laughter. Goldie is not stupid. It seems that it is laughing at Li Shi, not only that, but Goldie also pecks open a peach and cleverly sucks up all the juice. Li Shi, is so angry that she jumps up and down. Lin Luoran feels that both Goldie and Goldie are funny. No wonder they can stay on the cliff for 2 days. Lin Luoran opens the peach that Goldie gives her and takes a sip. It is sweet and delicious. If the peach is cultivated in the space, will it evolve into a peach like the Queen Mother's peach after many years? It is a bit far-fetched, but it is still possible to plant some. Lin Luoran collects several peach seeds and puts them in the universal sack. White Fairy's disgusted voice rings, "You are so bold. How dare you put anything next to me?" Lin Luoran notices that Li Shi, and Goldie are provoking each other. In fact, she is having a good time and has no time to care about what is happening here. Lin Luoran uses her spiritual mind to communicate with White Fairy. "I haven't thanked you yet. If you didn't teach me the art of controlling animals, I wouldn't have accepted Goldie as a great help." Although she can ride on the sword, Lin Luoran is happy to accept Goldie, which looks fierce but is cute. "You are so lucky to meet such a young golden hawk. It will become more powerful in the future. Just wait for a few years." Lin Luoran answers, "Yes." She is both grateful and afraid of White Fairy. She can fly out of the abyss with the sword riding spell, but White Fairy gives her the precious primary instruction of swords. Even so, why does White Fairy want to teach her how to tame Goldie? Lin Luoran never believes that there is nothing good in the world without a reason. The more White Fairy gives her, the more she wants from her. Lin Luoran doesn't believe that White Fairy only wants to get out of the abyss. Lin Luoran hesitates for a while and vaguely expresses the preciousness of the primary instruction of swords. White Fairy is speechless for a while and then smiles. Chapter 103. So, the primary instruction has something to do with Wenguanjing? Lin Luoran is embarrassed. White Fairy doesn't want to talk about her purpose, so Lin Luoran has to stop talking about it. At this moment, she sees Goldie flying into the sky, looking alert. Li Shi, is also full of peaches. She runs to Lin Luoran. Lin Luoran looks up. It turns out that a group of long-haired monkeys are running up from the foot of the mountain. They are swinging among the peach trees very fast. In fact, this peach mountain is the territory of these monkeys. Because of the terrain, the peaches on the top of the mountain taste especially good. Sometimes the monkeys are reluctant to eat them. First, a little monkey finds Lin Luoran and Lin Luoran on the mountainside. It runs back to report the news. Finally, the little monkey army arrives. These monkeys are aggressive, but they are afraid of Goldie. They stop far away. The leading monkey shows its teeth. It seems that it is not willing to give up. After thinking for a while, it takes the lead to pick peaches and throws them to Lin Luoran and Li Shi. The monkey army follows suit. They pick peaches and throw them to Lin Luoran and Li Shi. They launch long-distance attacks, trying to drive Lin Luoran and Li Shi away. For a moment, the monkeys are screaming and the leaves of the peaches are flying all over the sky. The monkey army has enough ammunition, so their attack is really powerful. Of course, these peaches can't hit Lin Luoran. However, they irritate Goldie. It opens its claws and is about to tear a monkey into pieces. Lin Luoran stops it. With the bundling rope on Li's body, little things like peaches can't hit Li. Li thinks these monkeys are cute and agrees with Lin Luoran's decision to stop Goldie. Seeing that Goldie was angry, the leader of the monkeys whistled. The army of monkeys threw away the peaches in their hands and ran away with the wind. Sister, they are so fun. Shall we follow them and see their nest? Li Shi is a playful girl. Lin Luoran comes to the secret land to broaden her horizons, so she agrees with Li Shi. Li Shi can teleport and jump, so she doesn't need to bother Goldie. Both of them jump on top of the tree and follow the monkey army unhurriedly. From time to time, the army of monkeys would turn around to look. Seeing that the two humans and the condor were still following them, they were infuriated. From time to time, they would bare their fangs in a threatening manner and run even faster. Lin Luoran and Li Shi run over a mountain. The dense forest affects their speed. When the forest opens up again, the army of monkeys is gone. Li Shi is anxious. Lin Luoran tells her to be quiet. Xiao Jin had been monitoring from high up in the sky. At this moment, its usefulness was revealed. Following Xiao Jin's direction, the two chased after it. Arriving at a rocky mountain stream, Lin hears the sound of running water. Pushing aside the branches, there is a big waterfall. Goldie hovers over the waterfall and doesn't leave. She doesn't see a monkey, but Goldie hovers over the waterfall. Lin Luoran looks at Li Shi, and they say at the same time, Water Curtain Cave? Water Curtain Cave. It turned out that they were all thinking the same thing. It seemed that journey to the west still had its practical uses. Lin Luoran takes the lead and walks forward. Sure enough, an army of monkeys with water drops on their bodies rushes out of the waterfall. Seeing that they are holding stones in their hands, Lin Luoran touches her face. She and Li Shi were just being childish. Did they put too much pressure on the monkeys? Forget it. We will disturb them if we force our way in. When Lin Luoran is about to persuade Li Shi to leave, she sees a tall and big old monkey coming out of the waterfall. Its hair and beard are all white. A little monkey is holding it and walking upright. The old monkey looks like the god of longevity. The old monkey seems to be in poor health. It is so sick that it even bows to Lin Luoran and Li Shi politely. Lin Luoran is really shocked. The old monkey wobbles and makes a gesture to them. Lin Luoran doesn't want to leave right away. Besides, since the old monkey comes out, the army of monkeys has become less alert, although they are still holding stones in their hands. People who grew up reading the 4 classic novels all yearn for the Monkey King of the Mountain of Flowers and Fruits. Li Shi is a heartless person. She only knows to follow Lin Luoran's lead. Lin Luoran finally gives up. She asks Goldie to wait for them nearby. Lin Luoran and Li Shi follow the old monkey into the cave under the waterfall. Walking through the waterfall, Lin Luoran's hair is full of water, which makes the sort of bright snow in her hair even more crystal clear and attractive. This seems to be a natural passage. Because it is close to the waterfall, the passage is wet. Lin Luoran and Li Shi have to hold up their skirts to walk through it. The old monkey leads the way and turns around from time to time to wait for them. Lin Luoran notices that the old monkey will be out of breath when it walks too fast. Lin Luoran can't bear it, so she walks very slowly on purpose so that the old monkey can only walk slowly to wait for them. The old monkey seems to know what Lin Luoran is thinking. It turns around and waves its hand like a human, as if saying that it doesn't matter. However, it also starts to walk slowly, cooperating with Lin Luoran. The two of them have been walking in the passage for a long time. Li Shi is a bit afraid of such a quiet environment. However, Lin Luoran has a sharp feeling that they are walking into the belly of the mountain. Is the monkey's nest built in the belly of the mountain? Thinking of such an environment, Lin Luoran feels that the dark cave is boring. However, after turning 2 corners, the old monkey pushes open a stone door. Lin Luoran feels that the light is getting brighter. Following the old monkey into the stone gate, Lin Luoran, who is usually calm and composed, can't help but feel refreshed when she sees the scenery in front of her. Is this a masterpiece of nature? This is a very spacious cave, or a cave. It is about 200 or 300 meters in radius and 10 meters high. At the top of the cave, there is a big cave. The sunlight in the cave is dim, not gloomy at all. Milky white stalactites hang down from the top of the cave. There is a big tree in the middle of the cave. The tree has luxuriant branches and leaves. The trunk is 4 or 5 meters thick. The crown of the tree reaches to the top of the cave where the sun shines down. The sunlight is sparse and mottled on the stalactites, creating an unreal sense of beauty. As for the 4 or 5 meters thick trunk, it has been hollowed out and made into a house with many small windows. The old monkey is inviting them into the wooden house. The old monkey makes a "please" gesture and Lin Luoran and Li Shi walk in. The wooden house is dry and refreshing with the fragrance of fruits. It doesn't look like a place for a monkey. Well, in fact, Lin Luoran feels that the old monkey is no different from a human being except that it can't speak. Lin Luoran, Li Shi, and Li Shi sit on the wooden chair. After a while, they hear the monkeys outside the wooden house. Lin Luoran looks out of the window and finds that the other monkeys are coming in one after another. Besides, they are carrying all kinds of fruits in their hands. There are peaches, pears, bananas, and even some fruits that Lin Luoran and Li Shi have never seen before. When they are eating the fruits, the old monkey coughs again. Lin Luoran feels sorry for the white hair and beard of the monkey. She can't help but use her clear eyes to look at it. Chapter 104. In the eyes of cultivators, demonic cultivators were a different species. As the saying goes, behead demons and eliminate devils. The demons here referred to the different species that had set foot in the cultivation world, and the devils referred to the human cultivators whose cultivation methods had entered the demonic path. If Wen Guanjing were here, he would never follow the old monkey into the cave. If he were strong enough, he would have killed the old monkey. However, Lin Luoran and Li Shi don't know about these taboos. That's the difference in their views. In fact, this monkey was quite bold. It was injured, and it thought that even if it died together, it would at most drag one person down with it. As for the other cultivator left behind, he would definitely kill all of its kind. Therefore, the old monkey took a gamble and took the initiative to invite the 2 female cultivators to its cave abode. It was originally planning to spend money to avoid disaster. If they liked something, they could just take it. In the old monkey's eyes, it was worth it to save this group of little monkeys. As the old monkey has expected, the 2 female cultivators seem to be good-tempered. They don't want to kill them as soon as they meet. The old monkey is thinking about what gift to send the 2 human cultivators away. At this moment, Lin Luoran checks it, which makes the old monkey nervous again. Well, the old monkey not only has Reiki in its meridians, but also has a shadow in its lungs. Are you hurt? The old monkey is stunned. It can't deny that the female cultivator has seen through it, so it has to nod. Li Shi-er feels sorry for Lin Luoran. She looks at Lin Luoran with tears in her eyes, but she doesn't have the courage to avoid it. Lin Luoran ponders for a while. The nature of wood focuses on vitality. There is a healing spell of the nature of wood in the spells of the 5 elements. Lin Luoran hasn't tried it yet. However, according to the spell, the Reiki in her body will be consumed. There are many monsters in the secret land. Lin Luoran was able to subdue Goldie because Goldie's talent has not been awakened yet. Therefore, it will be very dangerous for Lin Luoran to run out of Reiki. Seeing that Lin Luoran doesn't respond, the old monkey feels relieved. It claps its hands and the monkey outside brings in 3 stone cups. The smell of wine permeates the air. Li Shi-er shouts, "Monkey wine. Do you know this wine?" Lin Luoran asks curiously. Li Shi nods and whispers something in Lin Luoran's ear. It turns out that Li Shi-er's school is also in the deep mountains. She is very active and often goes to the forest to play. The animals in the forest are often teased by her. One of the monkeys was found by Li Shi-er and she almost stole all the monkey wine brewed by others. The monkeys went to the gate of Li Shi-er's school every day to make trouble. Li Shi-er's master was alerted and she returned the wine to the monkeys. Lin Luoran doesn't know whether to laugh or cry. Li Shi's words make Lin Luoran laugh. Of the monkey of Li Shi's school. However, in that case, this monkey wine was something very precious to monkeys, right? Lin of. Of, the monkey is of the monkey. Of the monkey of Li of monkey of Li of Li. This monkey wine is spirit wine. Li Shi-er burps, but Lin Luoran soon sees the essence of it. She thinks of her parents at home. This kind of spirit wine is mild and it is perfect for the health of her parents and little Luodong. She has to take some risks to get it, right? The health of her family is always what Lin Luoran cares about most. It is just a healing spell, which is a good deal for Lin Luoran. She knows that the old monkey can understand human language, so she doesn't beat around the bush and asks directly, "If you can give me some of this spirit wine, I have a way to cure your injury." The old monkey's eyes light up. Its lung injury has lasted for many days and no matter how many spirit herbs it has eaten, it can't be cured. If Lin Luoran can cure it, some spirit wine is nothing. The old monkey nods. Lin Luoran is not a talkative person. She asks Li Shi-er to protect her and recalls the gesture of the healing spell. The first gesture is to draw a half moon in the air. There are 108 gestures in total, which is the highest level spell Lin Luoran can cast. The secret land is full of Reiki, so spells are much more powerful than outside. When Lin Luoran finishes the 108 gestures, green light flashes on her fingertips. Green Reiki molecules gather together, which is very dazzling. The army of monkeys outside the cabin starts to shout again. Actually, Lin Luoran is having a hard time. Birth, old age, sickness, and death are the cycles of the world. Any spell involving healing is actually very exhausting. This is the fairness of the Tao of Heaven. It is said that the Tao of Heaven used to stop some elixirs when they were made. This shows that the Tao of Heaven is not satisfied with the interference of human life and death. The green light is getting brighter and Lin Luoran's forehead is sweating. Li Shi-er and the old monkey are looking at her with worry. White Fairy, who is hiding in the soul stone in the universal sack, is in a bad mood. Does this mean that this junior has the Taoist root of 3 natures? Lin Luoran has completely given up on her plan. In the age of spells, a junior with 3 natures is not even qualified to be an inner disciple. White Fairy even suspects that Lin Luoran has taken some elixir to preserve her looks. According to Lin Luoran's talent, it is impossible for her to cultivate to the late stage of training qi in her early 20s. Especially according to this junior, spells are in decline in the outside world. Lin Luoran doesn't know that she has temporarily dispelled one of White Fairy's plans. Wood Reiki overflows from her fingertips and benefits the hollowed tree. Spells use one's own Reiki as a primer to mobilize the Reiki in the world. However, the healing spell can only be used by cultivators at the peak of training Qi. Lin Luoran doesn't know the difference and uses it at the late stage of training Qi. As a result, all Reiki in her body is drained, except for the fire Reiki that she has been using for a long time. With the remaining half of the void full moon, the healing spell comes to an end. The rolling green light is condensed into the size of a peach pit. Lin Luoran points her finger and the green light goes into the old monkey's lungs smoothly. It would be too fake to say that the spell could cure the disease. After all, it was a spell in the level of training Qi, not a heaven-defying magic of a grand cultivator. However, it did stop the old monkey's coughing for a while. This ball of wood Reiki with pure vitality would slowly heal the old monkey's injury in the next 2 or 3 days. Chapter 105. Sister Lin. Li calls her softly. Lin opens her eyes. The little monkey beside the old monkey is holding a stone cup. It is another cup of monkey wine. The difference is that the color of this cup is much darker, almost burgundy, and the Reiki is abundant. Well, Lin Luoran is still in the mood to think of the joke about tea, and serve good tea. Isn't it too similar? Thinking of this, Lin still lowers her head and drinks the monkey wine which is full of Reiki. In less than 3 minutes, Lin feels warm all over her body. The Reiki consumed by the healing spell is being replenished little by little. Lin feels embarrassed. This is just like a potion in a game that can help her regain her mana. Lin Luoran has only 1 month in the secret land. There is no trace of other people within the sensing range of their jade pendants. Time limit means that Lin Luoran can't stay in one place for too long. When Lin Luoran is about to accept the gift and leave, she hears the screams of monkeys outside the cabin. The old monkey stands up first and rushes out of the room, ignoring its usual human politeness. Lin Luoran is still savoring the aroma of the spirit wine. She can't help but look out of the window. Li Shi covers her mouth and exclaims. Lin Luoran narrows her eyes. It turned out that the monkeys from before had come in. They were different from the lively monkeys that threw peaches at them at the beginning. These monkeys were all injured, and the leader of the monkey army from before had the heaviest injury. His arm was hanging weakly by his side, and there were bloodstains all over it. It seemed like his arm was broken. The old monkey knows how to stop bleeding. The little monkeys can recover with some spirit wine. However, the hand of the monkey army's leader is broken. If the bone is not set, it will be useless even if it recovers. Lin Luoran sighs and gets out of the cabin. She breaks 2 branches of equal thickness from the tree and finds a thin rope. She connects the bones of the monkey leader and puts a simple splint on it. Tell it that it must wear this splint until its arm is healed and the bone is healed. Do you understand? When Lin Luoran bandages the wound, the monkey army's leader feels a lot of pain. It's not hard to guess that it is in pain from the way it grimaces in pain. However, what are those sparkling tears at the corner of its eyes? The old monkey makes a gesture, and the leader of the monkey army nods to thank Lin. He looks at Lin Luoran with unprecedented kindness. Lin Luoran doesn't want to be a savior. However, in the real world, people always say that humans are primates and monkeys and chimpanzees are close relatives. Even if she cultivates, she still can't get rid of these inherent ideas. She has never hated monkeys, but she can only help them. She will try her best to cure them. The monkey leader's hand doesn't hurt so much now. He gestures to the old monkey and says something. Lin Luoran notices that the old monkey's face is getting darker and its eyes are getting red. After hearing what the monkey leader says, the old monkey rushes out regardless of Lin Luoran and the others. Of course, Li wants to follow them. She hasn't got the spirit wine yet. She can't let the old monkey die in front of her. Who can she ask for the wine from? Facing a group of weak monkeys, Li Shi doesn't want to steal the spirit wine. It is much faster to go out than to come here. Soon, they hear the sound of the waterfall. Soon, a curtain of water appears in front of Lin Luoran. Coming out from the belly of the mountain, Lin Luoran sees Goldie standing in the pond and confronting the old monkey. Lin Luoran finally lets out a sigh of relief. She has been worried that Goldie might have captured a few monkeys to show off its power since she hasn't come out for a long time. The one standing in front of the old monkey is not Goldie, but a 2-meter-tall black bear with a big stick on its shoulder. It is the black bear that northerners often call a blind bear. Well, what level is the black bear protected by the country? Lin Luoran can't think of this at the moment. However, this is not the point. The point is that no one has ever seen a black bear challenge the monkey's cave with a big stick. Lin notices that the black bear is thick-skinned and has weapons in its hands. There is also Reiki flowing in its body. Maybe it is the bear that injured the old monkey. However, the old monkey can't even defeat the black bear under normal circumstances. Now, the old monkey is still injured. If it gets hit a few more times, it will have to meet its ancestor, the great sage. Lin Luoran feels that her idea is too evil. However, the black bear starts to attack. Maybe bears are stupid. Seeing that there are 2 more helpers, it still dares to attack first. It is really stupid. However, to be exact, Li Shi is a helper. She has eaten the monkey's fruit and drunk the monkey wine. She is used to playing with the monkeys in the mountain. Seeing the monkeys, she only thinks they are cute. How can she let the old monkey get hurt again? Therefore, Li Shi sneakily attacks the black bear while it is waving its big stick. It is a pity that the copper bell on her fishing line is so loud that even a stupid bear knows to avoid it. The fishing line falls into the water. When Li takes it back, there is a carp that weighs about 2 or 3 kilograms tied to the end of the fishing line, and it is still alive. Lin Luoran wonders if staying with Li Shi for too long will affect her IQ. Ahem, sister, let's help the old monkey. Li Shi realizes that her attack has failed. She remembers that Lin Luoran is with her and asks for help immediately. Lin Luoran has been taking care of her all the way. Li Shi thinks that Lin Luoran can handle such a small matter. However, Lin Luoran shakes her head and says, "Sister, I used up all my Reiki to heal the old monkey. You are the only one who can do it." Li Shi is stunned. She just remembers that Lin Luoran has helped a lot. She is so heartless to ask Lin Luoran to help. But, the black bear is so tall. Before Li Shi makes a move, she remembers that she was in a stalemate with Goldie on the cliff. Can she really defeat the black bear? Li Shi who is as brave as a rabbit when it comes to serious matters, hesitates and then gives up. While Li Shi is still hesitating, the old monkey can't stand it anymore. It gets hit by the black bear's stick and falls into the water. The water is full of blood. Li Shi can't tell whether the old monkey is still alive or not. Li Shi holds the bundling rope tightly and suddenly cries. At this moment, she remembers that Lin Luoran threw her on the rock and she fell into the abyss. Although Lin Luoran is fine in the end, if Li Shi was braver and more mature, she might have been able to catch Lin Luoran. With tears on her face, Li Shi jumps forward and throws the bundling rope to stop the black bear. She casts spells with her right hand at an unprecedented speed. When the black bear pounces on her with the stick, Li Shi shouts, "Cicada wing," and attacks the bear with the spell Lin Luoran used to roast the rabbit. Although Li Shi is not cruel enough, at least she has made the first step. Lin Luoran sighs. White Fairy, who is hiding in the universal sack, laughs. Chapter 106. Is she a good person? Lin Luoran has never thought of herself as a good person in the traditional sense. Looking at Li, who narrowly avoids the bear's attack, Lin Luoran refuses to admit that she is a good person. "Well, I just hope that one less person will hold me back." Lin Luoran says that she won't help, but she still cares about the old monkey. At least she hasn't received a gift yet. With the pond here, Lin Luoran has recovered enough Reiki to cast a simple water spell. A water rope emerges from the pool. Lin Luoran pulls the old monkey over. Lin Luoran takes a look at the old monkey. She is shocked by its terrible condition. The monkey's face is covered with blood and its body is limp. The army of monkeys has been hopping around, unable to help. Seeing that the old monkey is saved by Lin Luoran, they all gather around and some of them are crying. Lin Luoran puts her hand under the bear's nose. She is speechless. Li Xier is also paying attention to this. She casts a spell of gold on the bear and asks anxiously, "Sister Lin, how is the old monkey?" Lin Luoran lowers her eyelids and says, "Dead." Dead? The old monkey, who had just served them fruits and spiritual wine, was dead. Li's eyes are red. The bear takes advantage of her carelessly and hits her right hand with a stick. Although Li rolls into the pool and avoids the stick, her shoulder is still hit by the end of the stick. When she gets up from the pool, her right hand is so painful that she can't even lift it up, let alone make a gesture to cast spells. Lin Luoran narrows her eyes. She has already cast a spell of sword. If Li Xier is in danger, she will kill the bear with her snow sword. The bear roars and raises its stick fiercely. As usual, Li Xier panics and Lin Luoran is ready to take action. What should she do? Li Xier's mind is blank. How can she subdue the bear when she can't move her right hand? Right hand. I still have my left hand. In a split second, Li's body tilted to one side. Black Bear's stick hit her right side from her face. She groaned as the stick hit her already injured right hand. Li Xier feels that her right hand may be disabled. It hurts so much, but she insists on doing what she wants. The bear squints its eyes. Now is the time. A small golden knife flies out of Li's left hand and hits the bear's eyes accurately. Golden knife spell can only be used by people in the middle stage of training qi. The bear, who only has great strength but doesn't know any spells, can't resist it. The bear wails in pain. Its eyes are ruined. Li Xier is exhausted, but she still uses the bundling rope to tie the bear tightly while it is rolling in the pond. Then she collapses in the water. Lin Luoran knows that Li will win when she uses the golden blade spell. She dispels the Reiki on her fingertips and asks the monkeys to carry the old monkey back. Half of Li's body is in the water, and her right hand is totally numb. Seeing Lin standing by the water and looking at her, Li cries, "Sister, am I too cruel?" Lin Luoran doesn't help her. She sits on a stone beside the pool and says calmly, "You destroying its eyes is indeed cruel to it, but to these monkeys, it is indeed a great kindness. For the sake of the spirit wine brewed by the monkeys, this black bear would come every few days to cause trouble. Every time, there would be casualties among the monkeys. It is indeed a great enemy for them. That's how cultivation is. Whether you're good or evil, and what you should do with your spells, it all depends on your choice." He hoped that Li Xier could understand that not all killings were bad. Li Xier is silent for a while. "Sister. Thank you." She was just a little naive, but she wasn't a fool. If they didn't really care about her, who would spend the effort to teach her these principles? "Sister, how do you know all this?" Li asked suspiciously. How could Lin Luoran know all this in such a short time? Seeing that Li has thought it through, Lin Luoran doesn't answer right away. Instead, she stands up and walks a few steps. Then she turns around and blinks at Li. "The old monkey told me." "Well, can the old monkey talk?" "I've been with Lin all the time, but it never talked about these things. Except when Lin Luoran was fighting with the black bear, the old monkey was dead at that time." Li remembers that Lin Luoran winked at her naughtily. Then she yells, "Sister, you lied to me." Lin Luoran laughs, "Come on. It will really die if you don't come back." Li jumps up from the pond and shakes off the water like a proud rooster. Her right hand is injured, but it is a glorious injury, right? Sister, wait for me. Li runs after Lin Luoran with her arms crossed. Lin Luoran's dress flashes in the corner of the waterfall. Lin Luoran has already entered the cave. In the cabin, the old monkey is lying on a chair to heal its wound with a ruddy face. After Lin Luoran's treatment, Li Shi is jumping up and down. She points at the old monkey and yells, "So you can talk and you are still alive at that time? You lied to me." The old monkey coughs and says, "Fairy, please don't be angry. Li Shi is angry for a long time." She thought that the old monkey was dead, so she went to fight the fierce and strong black bear. However, the old monkey looks refreshed now. It turns out that Sister Lin knew that it was fine and they worked together to deceive her. Li Shi is angry for a long time. It was indeed injured at that time, but it was different from its previous internal injuries. Those injuries looked dangerous, but they were actually very easy to recover from. As for talking, if you hadn't gone to save it, Elder Monkey wouldn't have been able to bear to see you get hurt by the black bear and begged me to help. Even I was fooled by it. The old monkey blushes and says, "I'm so sorry. Fairies, you are different from the human cultivators in the legend. You are both kind-hearted. I'm sorry for being a villain." Li Shi laughs again, "You're not a human. You're a monkey in vain." "Yes, little monkey, little monkey. Fairy is right." The old monkey bows its hands. Lin Luoran can tell that it likes Li Shi very much. It even likes Lin Luoran, the one who cured its wound. Li Shi is amused by the old monkey. After a while, she remembers what they are here for. She looks at Lin Luoran and asks, "Sister, can't we stay here for one more day? One more day means 2 more days for you. We don't have enough time." The old monkey loses its spirit. Aborigines like them all know that human cultivators can only come here for 1 month every 100 years. It is impossible for them to go out. That is to say, if they say goodbye now, they will never see each other again. Lin Luoran is quite doubtful about this, but she doesn't have much time. The old monkey cheers up and takes them to the pond where the monkey wine is stored. Well, looking at the glitter of different quality monkey wine in 3 deep, large and connected stone ponds, Lin Luoran is dazzled. She admits that she can understand the mood of the drunkard a little bit. This kind of spirit wine is even useful for Lin's cultivation. Lin Luoran is more interested in it than a drunkard. The old monkey seems to be sad. It tells Lin Luoran to make the wine casually. Li Shi sticks out her tongue and says, "We don't have jars." "Yes, it is easy to make wine jars." Lin Luoran asks the monkeys to dig a lot of clay for her. She uses the spell of the nature of earth to make wine jars. Lin Luoran uses the spell of the nature of earth the least. She can't control the jars precisely, so the wine jars are all square. Lin Luoran comforts herself that she can make more square jars. Lin Luoran uses the improved spell of fireball to make a square, Lin Luoran, wine jar. Although there are no flowers or birds on the jar, the temperature of the fireball is high enough to make it a porcelain jar. The old monkey keeps asking Lin Luoran to make more wine jars. It seems that it is going to give Lin Luoran a lot of wine. Considering the space of the universal sack, Lin Luoran makes 12 wine jars. 3 kinds of monkey wine of different years are different. Lin Luoran is going to share the wine with Li Shi. However, Li Shi is reluctant to give up her clothes in the universal sack, so she only takes 4 jars. Lin Luoran throws away all the food in the universal sack and puts away the remaining 8 jars. The space of the universal sack is full. Even the soul stone of White Fairy is pushed to the corner. Li Shi is reluctant to part with Lin Luoran. She only thinks that Lin Luoran is powerful. She doesn't notice that Lin Luoran has used spells of the nature of wood, water, earth, and fire. Chapter 107. Li leads the half-dead black bear. Now it is really a blind bear. She looks back every 3 steps and leaves the water curtain cave of the monkeys. Lin Luoran looks at the old monkey who is standing at the entrance of the cave. She sends a strand of her spiritual mind to the old monkey and tells it how to practice spells of the 5 elements. After a while, the old monkey is so excited that Lin Luoran shakes her head to tell it not to say anything. This old monkey clearly had spiritual qi in his body, but he didn't know how to use it. Thus, he was suppressed by the black bear who came to challenge him. They were both demons that had just gained intelligence, but the black bear had an advantage in terms of talent and strength. How could this thin and weak old monkey deal with it? Lin Luoran gives the old monkey some spells because she believes that it is better to teach a man to fish than to give him a fish. They can help the monkeys defeat the black bear, but they can't protect the monkeys for the rest of their lives. When the Bear King comes back, no one can guarantee that there won't be Tiger Kings and Leopard Kings who covet the monkey wine. Therefore, Lin Luoran wants to help the old monkey open the door of cultivation as soon as possible, which is the most fundamental help for the monkeys. Although these are just some basic spells of the 5 elements, it is easy to understand the application of the power of the 5 elements because of the basics. As for what the old monkey can learn from these spells, Lin Luoran can't guarantee. Holding the black bear in her right hand and a stone box in her left hand, Li Shi-er says suspiciously, "Before we left, the old monkey gave me a box. I don't know what it is." Holding the black bear, she hands the box to Lin Luoran. As soon as Lin Luoran takes the box, she feels Reiki coming from the gap of the box. Did the old monkey give Li something? Lin Luoran is curious. She opens the box and Reiki comes out. There are 2 mushrooms, one big and one small. Mushrooms? Li Shi-er loses interest immediately. It is better to give her some peaches. White Fairy chuckles, monkey mushroom. The old monkey is interesting. Lin Luoran also asks shamelessly with her spiritual mind, "Fairy, do you know this monkey mushroom? I can see that it is full of Reiki. What is it for? Why didn't the old monkey eat this monkey mushroom when it was injured?" White Fairy snorts, "You don't have a good aptitude. You don't even know that this is the primer for making foundation laying bolus. Otherwise, the old monkey wouldn't have pretended to be silent." Lin Luoran doesn't tell White Fairy about the lost formula of foundation laying bolus. Maybe she can get the formula from her. For the first time, Lin Luoran feels that she is a little sinister. She closes the box and asks casually, "The monkey mushroom alone is useless. It's not easy to collect all the other medicinal materials." White Fairy says weakly, "Are you really going to make foundation laying bolus by yourself? No matter how dangerous the outside world is, your school can't even afford a foundation laying bolus, can they?" After saying this, White Fairy suddenly chokes. The Taoist root of 5 natures. Even in her generation, schools would not give foundation laying bolus. White Fairy feels sorry for Lin Luoran. If you want to make elixirs by yourself, you can spend the whole month looking for spirit herbs. If you are lucky, you might be able to get what you want, such as 7-star grass, luminous sand, butterfly bush flower. While White Fairy is talking, Li Shi-er has no idea that Lin Luoran is at a critical moment. Seeing that Lin Luoran is still standing there, Li Shi-er can't help but ask, "Sister Lin, where are we going with the black bear?" Lin Luoran has to let go of this idea for now. Otherwise, White Fairy will get suspicious. Who knows what she will do for the prescription of bolus. However, there seems to be a place marked on the jade slip for the luminous sand, and it is not far from here. Thinking of this, Lin Luoran tells Li Shi-er, "Put this stone box away. It is a gift from the old monkey. It is a very precious spirit mushroom. As for the black bear, we are going to get the trophies." Li doesn't care about the mushroom. Instead, she is interested in the trophies Lin Luoran is talking about. "Are we going to the black bear's nest?" After getting the answer, Li pushes the stone box to Lin Luoran again. "Sister, the old monkey gave us 2 mushrooms. Of course, one for each of us. You can keep it." Lin Luoran smiles. She doesn't say no. The mushroom is the guiding drug for making foundation-laying bolus. Lin Luoran needs it very much. The black bear's nest is on the other side of the Peach Mountain where Lin Luoran and the monkey's water curtain cave. Goldie has been hovering around the Peach Mountain all day. Smelling Lin Luoran's breath, it flies down. Seeing that they are carrying a black bear, Goldie, who is so bored with eating peaches, pounces on them without hesitation. Lee covers her eyes. Lin Luoran wants to stop Goldie, but she hesitates and decides not to. Goldie is not a vegetarian. Lin Luoran can't ask a bird to eat fruits every day, can she? The black bear screams. Goldie's beak is so sharp that even the bear's thick skin can't stop it. Goldie pecks the bear's chest and eats the bear's gallbladder. Seeing that Goldie will not stop until it is full, Lin Luoran can't bear to see Goldie tearing the black bear apart. Lin Luoran takes Lee's hand and rides on the sword to cross the Peach Mountain first. Well, the bear's paw is good. Should she ask Goldie to be merciful? Lin Luoran is not a Taoist. The black bear just absorbs Reiki into its body over time in such an environment. It can't speak like the old monkey. However, Lin Luoran doesn't have the psychological barrier of killing people casually. If that's the case, Lin Luoran should just stop eating meat in the future. Who knows if a chicken or a fish can also become a Taoist one day. The old monkey certainly knows where the black bear's cave is, so it gives Lin Luoran a clear landmark. Looking down from the sword, it is easy to find the cave. It is a natural cave. Lin Luoran and Li search in the air. After a while, they see 3 crooked trees. Lin Luoran rides on the sword. Before she picks up the sword, she smells the stench of the black bear's cave. Li laughs and says, "Sister, I'll keep watch for you." Lin Luoran shakes her head. She is not a thief. She doesn't need a lookout. This little girl is afraid of getting dirty. Well, it is the only owner of the black bear's cave. It has already become Goldie's food. Since there is no danger, it is okay for Lin Luoran to go alone. After walking for a few steps, the stench is so bad that Lin Luoran has to use Reiki to cast a cleaning spell. After the stench is gone, Lin Luoran casts a spell and a small flame appears on her fingertip. She is indeed using the fire spell to light up the cave. The black bear's cave is deep, but it is not as good as the monkey's cave. There is a waterfall outside and a natural karst cave inside. Lin Luoran is satisfied with the ventilation and light. Lin Luoran thinks unkindly that the reason why the black bear has troubled the monkeys so many times is that it also wants the excellent, water curtain cave, of the monkeys. The stench in the black bear's cave is dispelled by Lin Luoran. She walks deeper and deeper into the cave. She sees an open area with a radius of 5 meters. The ground is covered with weeds. It seems that this is the place where the black bear usually rests. However, didn't the old monkey say that there are treasures in the black bear's cave? Lin Luoran can see nothing but weeds in this place. When Lin Luoran is confused, White Fairy suddenly says, "Put out the fire." Put out the fire. Lin Luoran pauses. With her eyesight, it is not difficult for her to see things in the dark. It is just a habit of her to want light in the dark. Chapter 108. Sister Lin, is there anything good in it? After spending a few days with Lin, Li knows that Lin is cold on the outside but warm on the inside. Most of the time, she is cold. If she is smiling, it means she is in a good mood. Thinking of what she got in the bear cave, Lin can't hide her smile. Hearing Li's question, Lin teases her, "If you didn't go there before, I won't share it with you now." Li stomps her feet. Lin Luoran has got something good, but she doesn't know about it. Li is really annoyed. Lin Luoran pretends not to notice her anxiousness. Goldie has enjoyed the bear meat and is practicing the pose of golden eagle standing on a big tree. Hearing Lin's call, Goldie rushes down. Lin Luoran touches Goldie's head and takes out a weed she got from the black bear's nest. She throws it to Goldie. Goldie swallows it directly. It seems that he is satisfied with the weed. Lin Luoran feeds Goldie so fast that Li doesn't see it clearly. She becomes more curious. Originally, Lin Luoran didn't want to look for elixirs like luminous sand. However, what she got in the Black Bear's cave makes her make up her mind. Now that there is a glimmer of hope for the foundation-laying bolus, she should look for luminous sand even if it is not on her way. Lin Luoran looks at the jade map carefully and compares the location marked in the jade map with the current terrain. The Bat Cave with luminous sand is in the east. Although it is not far from here, it is in two different directions compared with the exit. That is to say, the Bat Cave is close to the inner circle of the secret land. According to the jade map, the Bat Cave is exactly at the junction of the so-called danger zone and the safety zone. Lin Luoran can't decide for Li's life, so she tells Li the location and danger of the Bat Cave. However, Li is determined to follow Sister Lin. She doesn't want to find Wen Guanjing and others by herself. Lin Luoran doesn't waste time. She summons Goldie, who has just digested the weed, and they fly to the east. Goldie is not as fast as riding on a sword, but Lin Luoran doesn't have to worry about running out of Reiki. Except for the fact that Lin Luoran once sensed an unusually powerful breath near a black pool, she told Goldie to speed up and take a detour. Their journey is actually very smooth. Sitting on Goldie's back, Lin Luoran holds back the fear in her heart and looks back. They have already flown more than 10 miles away. A roar comes from the large black pool and the mud is rolling. A double-headed boa raises its head from the pool and looks at the direction where Lin Luoran and Goldie escaped. The boa hesitates for a while. In the end, it seems that Lin Luoran, and Goldie can only be a dessert, not a main course. Finally, the boa gives up chasing. The two heads of the boa look exactly the same. When it is thinking, its scarlet eyes are so cold. Lin Luoran doesn't see it with her own eyes, so she can't feel it. Eagles and snakes have always been enemies. Since the boa showed up, Goldie's short hair on its neck has stood up. It only feels that its parents didn't give it 2 pairs of wings. Its flying speed is doubled. After flying over several mountains, Goldie can no longer feel the cold breath of the boa and it gradually calms down. Lin Luoran and her servant feel that they have escaped from death. Both of them are relieved. Only Li Shi, whose level is not high enough, is sitting on the back of the eagle and looking around. She is proud of Goldie's flying speed. She even wonders whether she should peck a bird like Goldie and take it with her. After this false alarm, Lin Luoran is very careful when choosing the route. There are monsters hiding in the deep mountains and swamps. She tries her best to let Goldie fly in a flat and open area, which saves them a lot of trouble. Even so, when Lin Luoran and Goldie are about to arrive at their destination, it has been 5 days since they left the cave of the Black Bear. Taking into account the time they spent in the Abyss and the Monkey Mountain, it has been 10 days since they entered the secret land. There are still 20 days left. They also need to go back to the exit and get the luminous sand. Do they still have time to collect the rest of the spirit medicines? The landmark of the Bat Cave is easy to recognize. In the beautiful mountains, there is a lonely peak that looks like Optimus Prime. The peak goes straight into the clouds. For some reason, there is no grass on the peak. The surface of the peak is smooth like a polished mirror because of the wind. What surprises Lin more is that Goldie just hovers in the air. It seems that it doesn't want to land on the Optimus Prime. Goldie doesn't know what is buried under the mountain. They can only land on a nearby peak. Lin Luoran planned to fly up on her sword. However, the sword of bright snow loses its command and can't move forward. Lin Luoran doesn't think it is serious if only Goldie and the sword of bright snow are behaving strangely. The bigger problem is that Lin Luoran doesn't get any response from the encyclopedia, White Fairy. The soul stone is lying quietly in Lin Luoran's universal sack. What on earth is in this mirror-like peak? The soul stone scared Goldie away, disturbed the sword of bright snow, and even cut off the connection between Lin and White Fairy. Lin Luoran's eyes are gloomy. Should she go or not? The luminous sand is an important and irreplaceable Reiki material in the foundation-laying bolus. If she gives up now, she can't guarantee that she can find the 1,000-year-old luminous sand when she gets out. Looking at Li Shi, who is ignorant, Lin Luoran has an excuse in an instant. Goldie is throwing a tantrum. I guess it is tired of flying these days. Take it to rest nearby and wait for me. Li Shi, is stupid, but she knows that the sort of bright snow can't fly. She is hesitant about Lin Luoran's excuse. Li Shi, wants to ask Lin Luoran again, but she can't defeat Lin Luoran's influence on her. Li Shi, is coaxed by Lin Luoran and leaves with Goldie reluctantly. Lin Luoran takes a look at the towering peak. Since the jade sheet says that there is luminous sand here, someone must have come here to get it. Lin Luoran makes a gesture and a ray of water flashes. It seems that the spells of the 5 elements are not restricted here. This peak is feasible. Since she can't ride on the sword, she can only rely on her feet. Lin Luoran climbs a few steps and finds that the peak is as slippery as it looks. It is hard for her to walk on it. She takes 2 balls of wet mud and sticks them on the soles of her feet. Then she casts a small spell of the Earth series called Subsidence. The 2 balls of mud soften and Lin Luoran wants to sink into the ground. However, the ground is as smooth as a mirror. Without the help of mud, the mud can only hold Lin Luoran tightly. It is impossible to sink her into the ground. Seeing that this plan is feasible, Lin Luoran jumps up high. Every time she falls, she will cover a distance of 4 or 5 meters. Though it is a little troublesome to use the ground sinkage when she is falling, she can still vaguely see the top of the mountain after an hour. The peak is hidden in the clouds. Lin Luoran doesn't know what is wrong with the bats. Why did they choose such a lonely place as their nest? After exploring for a while, Lin Luoran finds a cave with the height of 2 people on the west side of the peak. The cave is long and narrow. It must be the nest of the bats. If the cave of the black bear stinks, Lin Luoran can smell the musty smell standing at the entrance of the bat cave. Yes, it is the kind of musty smell that never sees the sun all year round. Chapter 109. In the deep tunnel, Lin Luoran's footsteps are almost inaudible. Since the sort of bright snow will be disturbed in the area of the lonely peak, Lin Luoran can only use spells to guard against it. It is common sense that fire will stimulate the bats, so Lin Luoran doesn't use illumination. Lin Luoran thought it was just a bat cave, but the terrain is getting lower and lower. Lin Luoran wonders if she missed the bottom of the mountain when she explored before. Maybe the bottom of the mountain is connected to the cave at the top of the mountain. However, it is useless to regret now. The deeper she goes, the more spacious the cave becomes. It is more convenient for Lin Luoran to walk. The only thing was that she hadn't seen a bat cave after walking for so long. Were they all resting in their nest, or did something unexpected happen? There must be something wrong. Lin Luoran walks down and becomes more vigilant. The terrain gradually opens up. Lin Luoran smiles bitterly. It seems that the bat cave is at the foot of the mountain, but it takes her twice the time to come back. But, why is it still so quiet? With her eyesight, Lin Luoran can see that the passage is gradually widening and winding downward, spiraling to the bottom of the mountain. Needless to say, it is dark and mysterious. What makes her nervous is that the passage is so regular that it doesn't seem to be formed naturally. What is waiting for her in the cave at the bottom of the mountain? It is easy to go up the mountain but difficult to go down. Lin Luoran has to be on guard on one side, so it takes her twice more time to walk down the winding tunnel than to go up the mountain. Lin Luoran can't help frowning. It has been 3 hours since she entered the lonely peak, but she hasn't even seen a bat's leg hair. This is not a very good sign. Hey, there is the sound of running water. Lin Luoran stops and listens. After making sure it is right, she can't help but speed up. After making 2 more turns, she finally sees the open terrain. This is a large karst cave hidden under the mountainside. It is also filled with stalactites. The stalactites in the monkey's cave are as beautiful as a dream, but here it is dark and makes people feel cold. The sound of running water that Lin Luoran heard before is next to it. It is an underground river that is not very rapid. Along the underground river, there is a cave entrance. It must be another hidden exit. Lin Luoran is not in the mood to explore. There is a huge smooth stone platform in the cave. 2 people are lying on it. Lin Luoran doesn't know whether they are alive or not. If this wasn't enough, then the piles of skeletons scattered on both sides of the stone platform were shocking. Those were clearly skulls, which meant that these skeletons didn't belong to animals. Lin Luoran gasps. This is not a bat cave. It is a den of devils. Far away from the stone platform, there are a few scattered bats hanging upside down on the stalactites. It seems that they haven't noticed Lin Luoran, the uninvited guest, and are taking a nap with their eyes closed. Below them, a thick layer of luminous sand, or to put it simply, bat feces, as high as half a person, appears in Lin's sight. There was so much luminous sand, it was obviously not something that these bats could accumulate over a long period of time. Did the other bats go out to hunt? Lin Luoran clenches her fists. She is not sure whether she should check the 2 people on the platform first or take the luminous sand and leave. The bats will come back at any time. Lin Luoran thinks quickly. She glances at the 2 people on the platform first. One of them has brown hair, and the other has blonde hair. They are not from the state of Huaxia. Well, although they look familiar, Lin Luoran is not a good person. She has to save everyone she sees. Let's wait and see. Lin Luoran breathes a sigh of relief and makes a decision quickly. Take the luminous sand first. Bats are blind and they locate their prey by sound waves. Lin Luoran doesn't lower her vigilance just because they are napping. Instead, Lin Luoran approaches the bats very carefully and takes out a small jar that she prepared in advance. Lin Luoran uses the jar of bright snow to dig the black feces slowly. Bat feces stinks when heated. However, as Lin Luoran slowly digs down, she finds that the feces have turned into black crystals 1 foot below. This is the luminous sand which can be used as medicine. Lin Luoran estimates that it has been around for hundreds of years. Lin Luoran's eyes flash with joy. She continues to dig carefully. When she is halfway through, she finds some white crystals. They are small and white, just a little bigger than white sugar. They are the luminous sand that she is looking for this time. She doesn't know what is controlling the white fairy and she can't get in touch with her now. Therefore, the secret of her space is less taboo. There are 2 small jars of monkey wine left. After filling 1 jar, Lin becomes greedy. Suddenly, it occurs to her that she hasn't reached the bottom yet. There are already luminous sand over 1,000 years old. Lin Luoran puts the jar full of luminous sand into her space and digs down again. As expected, under the white layer, there are light yellow crystals. Under the light yellow, the yellow crystals are transparent, almost as brilliant as the crystals. Lin Luoran is overjoyed. She takes some of both jars and sighs that this trip is worthwhile. However, she doesn't notice that a black eye flashes in the air beside the stone platform where the 2 people are lying. Soon, it disappears. Lin Luoran fills the 2 jars and feels satisfied. She cleans the sword of bright snow. Not only has the main purpose of this trip been achieved, but she also has an unexpected gain. Should she go out of the cave to avoid unnecessary trouble or figure out why these 2 people are here? Thinking of the white bones, Lin Luoran feels her blood freeze. Forget it. It's not easy to be a good person. It's better to be a good person. Lin Luoran is a good person. However, she takes care of her compatriots. According to Wen Guanjing, these foreign cultivators will not show any mercy to Huaxia cultivators in the secret land. Lin Luoran should be grateful that she doesn't hit them when they are down. Why should she save 2 enemies for Huaxia? Lin Luoran is about to go out along the underground river. However, she hears a female voice in the murmuring water. Lin Luoran has to stop and hide behind a tall stalactite subconsciously. Dana, we have to hurry up. Those blood bats will come back soon. The voice speaks fast with a British accent. As soon as the voice stops, Lin Luoran can see them. It's true that enemies are bound to meet on a narrow road. It's Crystal and her companion, a handsome man from the bloodline, who look like a noble. Lin Luoran holds her breath carefully and relaxes her body and mind. Under the cover of darkness, she seems to blend in with the background. Crystal walks straight to the platform. Lin Luoran suddenly realizes why she feels that these two people look familiar. They are Crystal's followers. Detecting that the two people are still alive, Crystal's cold face smiles. She and Dana each hold the hands of one of the two people and transfer the special power of their kind to them. The two vampires soon wake up. Miss Crystal, I'm so sorry for disturbing you. The two vampires wake up. Their first reaction is to apologize when they see who is coming. Their faces are full of fear. It seems that they are really afraid of Crystal. Seeing that Crystal is about to lose her temper, Dana has to remind her, let's get out of here first. Seeing Crystal's impatience, Dana is speechless. If she didn't want the blood bats, these two people wouldn't have risked their lives to enter the cave. Since they are in trouble because of Crystal, Dana thinks that it's reasonable to save them. Crystal is not worth following. Dana comes to a conclusion in his mind. The four of them are about to go out when Crystal's ears twitch. Her pale face changes color. They are back, them. Lin Luoran tightens her body. She is about to rush out of the cave before Crystal and her companions. Considering the speed of the vampires on the sea platform, Lin Luoran is not sure if she can defeat them. Crystal and her companions rush out of the underground river. It seems that they want to get out before the bats enter the cave. Lin Luoran holds her breath. Though she doesn't know why Crystal and her companions are so afraid of the bats, Lin Luoran decides to go back the way they came. Lin Luoran doesn't know how dangerous the bats are. Li Shi, who is guarding the mountain nearby, widens her eyes in horror. Chapter 110. Lin Luoran is about to leave when she hears Crystal's scream. The four vampires have come back the way they came. Seeing the bats chasing after them, Lin Luoran pauses. She really doesn't want to show up and become a free target for the bats. Thanks to this, Lin Luoran finally sees the attacking methods of the vampires. The four vampires are forced back into the cave. As more and more bats the size of owls come, Crystal grows a pair of bat-like wings on her back. Her eyes turn red and she screams so loud that ordinary people can't hear her. This is a sound wave attack. Lin Luoran hides behind a rock. A wave of invisible sound waves hits her face. Lin Luoran feels a tingling pain in her spiritual mind and doesn't dare to probe further. At this moment, Crystal's sound waves collide with the bat's sound waves. Obviously, the young lady of the vampires is also very powerful. She has the upper hand in this head-on collision. The bats that are entering the cave all fall down and cover the ground. There are more than 100 of them dead or injured. Dana, however, doesn't look happy. Crystal, we shouldn't provoke them, Crystal snorts, do we have a choice now? Dana's face is cold. The two vampires are trembling with fear. The three of them all choose to transform. Lin Luoran has sharp eyes. Though they all have wings on their backs, Crystal's wings are mixed with golden threads and Dana's wings are like silver threads. However, the other two vampires only have black wings. Is it because of the difference in their bloodline? Lin Luoran doesn't know how she has the time to think about this. She keeps these subtle differences in mind. After Dana and the other two vampires join the battle, they are like a hot knife through butter. Many bats are killed or injured. Lin Luoran is relieved. There are so many bats. As long as they occupy the entrance, they can take their time to kill them. It is not impossible to win. What is strange is that Crystal and the others don't relax. Soon, Lin Luoran finds that there seems to be no end to the bats. As soon as one dies, more bats come. What's more, a large number of bats appear on the path Lin Luoran took. Lin Luoran's plan to leave quietly has failed. Now there are bats at both exits. Dana has to deal with the bats on this side with another bloodline. There is a gap in the defense line of the four. A bat takes advantage of the gap and bites the arm of the bloodline next to Crystal, sucking blood. These were vampire bats. Lin Luoran frowns. What's more, these bats even suck the blood of the bloodline. Obviously, they are mutants. No, when the four of them are exhausted, she will be the one trapped. Lin Luoran makes a decision immediately. With a flash of sword light, the vampire bat on the bloodline man's arm is cut into two and falls to the ground. The other bats smell the blood and swoop down. Soon, they suck the dead vampire's skin and bones. Crystal looks at Lin and says, "Miss Lin, you finally show up." Lin Luoran uses her blood sword to block the attack. She kills several bats that are too close to her and nods to Crystal. She didn't show it on her face, but she actually felt very helpless in her heart. It turned out that the young lady of the blood kindred had already noticed her. If she had really been hiding all this time, she would have been a villain in vain. Let's work together to deal with the bats first. We can talk about our business when we get out of here. Lin Luoran doesn't care whether Crystal can understand Chinese or not. She is not a girl from the Qing dynasty. There is no reason for her to accommodate the British bloodline. The more we kill, the more bats there will be. We can't kill them all. We have to work together to get out. Obviously, Crystal not only understands Chinese but also replies in non-standard Chinese. Lin Luoran looks at her in surprise and Crystal smiles proudly. The five of them gradually gather together. Lin Luoran's fireball spell is aimed at the places where there are many bats. The high temperature of the fireball spell is obviously a good way to deal with the bats. When the bats are fluttering, they inevitably get infected by other bats. The effect of the fireball spell is no less than that of Crystal's sound wave attack. The look on Crystal's face changes. Suddenly, she smiles imperceptibly. Lin Luoran kills a bat that wants to bite her with her sword. She doesn't notice Crystal's strange expression. Because Lin Luoran has joined the fight, Dana and the other two feel relieved. They don't know what Crystal is thinking, but Dana has more in mind. This Huaxia female cultivator surnamed Lin is obviously more powerful than the famous St. Is she the backbone of the Huaxia secretly cultivated? Lin Luoran looks at the endless bats and frowns. Crystal and the other three people are good at speed and sound wave attacks, which are not advantageous to the bats. Obviously, fire attacks are the most lethal to the bats. However, Lin Luoran has a limited amount of Reiki in her body. She can't use it without restraint. Should she use that spell? Lin Luoran thinks of the feeling of exhaustion after using that healing spell. She is worried about leaving her defenseless body to Crystal. Lin Luoran kills two bats with her sword. She decides to wait and see. If it weren't for the suppression of the Sword of Bright Snow in this strange mountain, it would be much easier to open the magic circle inside the Sword of Bright Snow. Lin Luoran is thinking. Crystal blinks its eyes and shakes its wings. The infrasound in its mouth turns to attack Lin Luoran. Lin Luoran is stunned. Then she holds her head and groans. Dana says angrily, "Crystal, are you crazy? Why are you sneaking up on her? Do you want us to die here?" Crystal may not be a normal person. Seeing that Lin Luoran has lost her ability to fight, she dislocates Lin Luoran's hand. Crystal is very skillful. It seems that Lin Luoran knows that Huaxia cultivators have to use their hands to cast spells. Lin Luoran sweats because of the pain. She lies on the ground and her hands are dislocated. She can't even cast a spell to fight back. Crystal smiles, "Dana, since I dare to do this, I am confident that I can get out of here. Even if you don't believe me, you should believe in the blood vessel given by Lord Edward. Blood vessel. Dana's pupils shrink. She can't help but look at Crystal's finger. A bat ring flashes red. The bats are a little scared and don't want to rush at Lin Luoran like moths darting into a flame. Crystal squats down and flirtatiously lifts Lin Luoran's sweaty chin. Beauty, how did you get into my hand? She laughs. Lin Luoran is so regretful that she thinks that those who are not of the Huaxia clan must be punished. Whoever believes in these birdmen is a pig. Crystal seems to be determined to win Lin Luoran. She only dislocates Lin Luoran's hand, but she doesn't make things difficult for Lin Luoran. Instead, she stands up straight and sneers at the army of bats around. Little cuties, since you are so naughty, why don't you sacrifice the blood vessel? While saying, she cuts her wrist with her fingertip. The unique sweet aroma of the bloodline spreads. Ignoring the pale faces of Dana and the other two, Crystal drops her blood into the bat ring. Chapter 111. Lying on the ground, Lin Luoran's forehead is still covered with sweat. In fact, she has already endured the pain. Crystal is not a normal woman. Blood artifact sounds like a crooked way. How can she get out of here? While Lin is thinking of a solution, Crystal tells the handsome vampire named Dana to move Lin to the side of the mountain wall. They form a semicircle with the mountain wall as the back. Crystal stands in front of Lin Luoran, holds the ring up, and starts to recite the incomprehensible sacrificial words. Cain above, use my blood to awaken the spirit of the sacred artifact. All the blood and flesh I offer are my offerings. The blood bats begin to fly around uneasily. They seem to want to run away, but they are attracted by some power and dare not to fly out. After reciting the sacrificial words, Crystal spreads her wings. A bloody power breaks through the seal and rushes out of the ring. It turns into a black mist of blood and rolls towards the place where the bats are gathered. The bats fly around, but they are no match for the bloody power. Lin Luoran can only hear the sound of explosions. It seems that there is a small bomb buried in the bats' bodies. Now, the bats are detonated together. Blood and flesh are splashed everywhere. The bloody smell and the cruel scene are so strong that people with poor mental quality will throw up their dinner from last night. Dana frowns. As an elegant and noble member of the new bloodline, he doesn't agree with Crystal's action of holding blood sacrifice. Besides, the blood bats are somehow related to them. Lin Luoran doesn't want to leave any room for negotiation. Soon, the whole cave is filled with the thick smell of blood. Bang! Bang! There are sounds of explosions. The ring is obviously a great weapon. It has killed more than half of the bats in the cave. Though there are still bats flying in from the entrance, they are not as scary as before. With such a powerful ring, Crystal pretended that she couldn't stand it. It seems that she is trying to lure Lin Luoran out. Lin Luoran doesn't like this vampire at all. Lin Luoran squints her eyes and pretends to be in pain. In fact, it is just a dislocation. Reiki in her body can run and it doesn't really hurt. The problem is, who will take her hand? Lin glances at the other three. The two men of the bloodline are so timid in front of Crystal and have no opinions of their own. It is impossible for them to help Lin. As for Dana, Lin Luoran doesn't know if it's her illusion, but she feels that there is something wrong between Dana and Crystal. Underneath their modesty, there seems to be some dissatisfaction. Is this something that she can take advantage of? Lin Luoran has 1,000 thoughts in her mind. From time to time, she moans in pain. She pretends that she is injured so that Crystal will lower her guard and find a chance to escape. Just as she was about to plot against Dana, the noble vampire turned around and gave her a warning look to stay put. Lin Luoran is not narcissistic enough to think that everyone will fall in love with her. Dana is obviously not showing his love to her. Lin Luoran feels stressed. The moment she laid her eyes on Dana, the man of the bloodline sensed it. How old is he? Crystal has no time to pay attention to Lin Luoran. Her hands are crossed and her long nails are sticking out. If Lin Luoran could see Crystal's face, she would find that Crystal's maroon pupils are gone. There is no pupil or sclera in her eyes. Instead, Crystal's eyes are redder than blood. Her vampire fangs are coming out of her mouth. Lin Luoran is surrounded by a chaotic atmosphere and a strange beauty. Suddenly, Crystal raises her head and roars. She spreads her fingers, and the blood of the torn bat floats in the air. More and more blood accumulates and forms a big circle in the air. Dana frowns and the other two vampires look at Lin Luoran with admiration. Lin Luoran knows that the mysterious force tearing the bat apart is a preparation. What is happening now is the real blood sacrifice. The ring is glowing red. Apparently, it is trying to absorb the essence of the bat's blood like a whale swallowing water. Lin Luoran is having a headache. She is afraid that Crystal will be even more difficult to deal with after this weird blood sacrifice. Maybe God has heard Lin's voice. When the ring is about to absorb all the bat's blood, a cloud of black fog appears on the platform where the two vampires were lying. Lin feels that her wrist is burning. The bead is heating up, which is very rare. Except for Crystal, who is in a daze, Dana and the other vampires also notice the black fog and feel uneasy. Feeling the change of the bead, Lin Luoran is anxious. She doesn't have time to pretend to be hurt. She wants to run away now. However, as soon as she moves, Crystal turns around with bloodshot eyes. Crystal sneers and turns around again. It seems that Crystal doesn't care about Lin Luoran's attempt to run away. Lin Luoran stares at Dana and says seriously, "Put my hand back on. We have to get out of here." Dana looks at Crystal and doesn't answer. It seems that he is considering whether Lin Luoran is telling the truth. In just 2 minutes, the black fog on the cylindrical platform is getting thicker and thicker. It gradually takes shape in the void and a dark shadow looks at Lin Luoran. Lin Luoran feels guilty and sweats all over her body. What a young, delicious flesh. The shadow's voice seems to come from the bottomless abyss. The voice echoes in the entire cave, but it doesn't have a place to go. Dana turns around and looks at Lin Luoran. In fact, Lin Luoran is even more surprised than Dana. This demon-like shadow speaks Chinese. Even with the interference of the voice, Lin Luoran's tone is very strange. However, it is indeed the language of the state of Huaxia. Crystal's bloodshot eyes are wide open and she shouts, "You have ruined the sacred blood sacrifice. Lord Cain will punish you with blood." The black shadow seems to be thinking about who, Cain, Crystal is talking about. After a while, it suddenly grabs something in the air. The bat's blood is pulled out by the shadow. The bat's blood, which is the size of a round table, crackles in the shadow's hand and condenses into a bead of blood. Seeing this, Lin Luoran reaches for the mouth of the cave. Dana also steps back. The black shadow condenses the bat's blood into a bead and throws it into its mouth, if its shapeless mouth can be called a mouth. Crystal's wings tremble. The blood taken away by the shadow seems to have hurt her. The redness in her eyes fades a little, but her face is twisted because of the pain. Dana knows that this is the backfire of the failed blood sacrifice. Although he doesn't want to, if something bad happens to Crystal here, they won't be able to pay for it. He has to help Crystal. "Crystal, are you alright? Let's go." The two vampires are also guarding Crystal. As soon as Crystal gives the order, they will be ready to protect her and leave this weird bat cave. The demon's shadow seemed to have been nourished just now, and his body seemed to have solidified a lot. He laughed and said, "What are you muttering about, uncivilized barbarians? You destroyed my blood bat, so use yourself to pay the debt. And you, little chi cultivator." Chapter 112. The shadow seems to be very interested in Lin Luoran. It looks at her for a while and laughs, which makes Lin's blood freeze. Lin Luoran steps back quickly, wanting to leave the bat cave, which makes her so uncomfortable and uneasy. With her speed, it should be easy for her to escape. The shadow laughs and creates a black hand to grab Lin Luoran. Lin Luoran can't cast any spells, so she has to use her spiritual mind to control the snow sword to block the attack. This is her last move to escape from Crystal. She has only seen the sword riding spell in front of Li Shi, but she has never used it in front of others. She doesn't think the bloodline will guard against it. Lin Luoran only needs to wait for the light of the sword. Even if it can't cut off one of Crystal's wings, it can at least buy her some time, which will be enough for her to escape. The light of the sword of bright snow surges with coldness. If the sword hits Crystal, this annoying female vampire will be severely injured, even if she doesn't die. However, Lin Luoran has to deal with the black shadow with this sword. She is not sure about that. She can only hope that she can buy some time. The black shadow sneers. The strike of the grade 5 magic weapon is caught by the black hand. Maybe Lin Luoran is holding back, or she is in the level of training chi. Lin Luoran doesn't know how powerful the strike of the grade 5 magic weapon is. With a sizzling sound, the sword of bright snow is stained by the black hand. After a while, the sword is stained by the black hand. Lin Luoran feels that she can't fly on the sword. The connection between her and the flying sword becomes intermittent and faintly discernible. Is the black shadow the one who made White Fairy disappear and the sword of bright snow disobey her? Lin Luoran was not so panicked when she was attacked by Crystal. For the first time, she feels that she can't control her feet. A kind of fear grips her heart. No, she can't let the snow sword be destroyed. Lin Luoran tries to find the connection. Maybe the black shadow doesn't care about the sword of bright snow. After it temporarily loses its ability to fight, it doesn't stop Lin Luoran from summoning the snow sword. He is about to say something when Crystal, whose blood sacrifice is interrupted, comes to herself. She pushes Dana and the others away, spreads her wings and rushes to the black shadow. Miss Crystal! The three of them exclaim at the same time. However, Crystal is too fast for them to stop. Lin Luoran doesn't want to know whether Crystal is retarded or not. The only thing she knows is that this is her only chance. Lin Luoran turns around and rushes to the exit. The bats don't stop her. Before Lin Luoran can feel happy, she hits a light shield and bounces back. Inhibition. Lin Luoran is very familiar with this scene. There is a similar inhibition in her space. She sucked in a breath of cold air. Fortunately, it was only blocking her from leaving. If it was a killing restriction, she would definitely be dead by now. On the other side, Crystal flaps her wings and pounces at the black shadow like a sharp sword. She snorts, "How dare you disturb the blood sacrifice? Prepare to be punished by Lord Cain." She raised her hands high, and lightning flickered between her fingers. Clearly, she was very confident in this so-called blood punishment. Lin Luoran decides to turn back immediately. She rushes to the side of the bloodline. She remembers that Crystal once called him Dana. "Dana, we have to work together." Dana turns his eyes away from the black shadow and stares at Lin Luoran. He ignores her suggestion. Lin Luoran bites her lip. Are the bloodline all stupid? How can they not see the situation clearly? Do they really think that the blood punishment can defeat the black shadow? Lin Luoran does believe that there are extraordinary skills or treasures in the world. However, no matter how extraordinary they are, it depends on the person who activates them. It is not ridiculous to challenge someone of a higher level. If there is an insurmountable gap between them, it will be like throwing an egg against a stone. Lin Luoran retreats to the mountain wall. At this moment, Crystal's blood punishment takes shape. A blood-red sword with lightning cuts down from the sky. Different from Lin Luoran's flying sword, this is a blood sword made of pure strength. When the blood punishment cuts down, Lin Luoran smashes her arm against the mountain wall. Ouch! Lin Luoran can't help but cry out in pain as she tries to connect the bone. However, the first time is not enough. Lin Luoran's pain is in vain. Her arm is still hanging down powerlessly. Dana glances at Lin Luoran because of her groan. He is surprised that the female cultivator surnamed Lin from Huaxia can be so cruel to herself. Dana immediately turns his head to watch the fight. Crystal's blood punishment finally falls. It is not a head-on confrontation as Lin Luoran expected. The horrifying energy sword of the bloodline disappears the moment it hits the black shadow, like a drop of water falling into the sea. It is absorbed by the black shadow. Crystal's maroon eyes are wide open in fear. Lin Luoran has smashed against the mountain wall again. This time, she finally hits the right spot. After a slight pain, Lin Luoran finds that she can move one of her arms again. When Crystal's sword is like a drop of water in the sea, Dana and the other two bloodline have already rushed over to help. Lin Luoran is sure that she hears the black shadow burp as if the blood punishment is a great tonic. The black shadow burps and a part of it turns into a big black hand. The hand is about to grab Crystal. Crystal still can't believe that the blood punishment doesn't work. She is pushed away by the bloodline who rushes to her. Dana pulls her back dozens of feet. Lin Luoran has already put her other arm back. Dana pushes Crystal to her side and shouts to her, "Let's work together." Work together? Lin Luoran sneers. What are they doing in the morning? Lin Luoran moves her arm. Usually, the dislocated arm can be put back immediately. However, the inflammation and swelling will start after half an hour. Therefore, Lin Luoran's fingers are still flexible. Lin Luoran pushes Crystal away, so the bloodline is pinched in the big hand instead of Crystal. Like Lin Luoran's Shui Zhao, the bloodline can't move anymore. His body is surrounded by black smoke. Lin Luoran doesn't know whether he is still alive or not. Lin Luoran doesn't want to fight head-on. Seeing that her fingers can still move, she rushes to the exit. Dana and the other bloodline are rejected, so they follow Lin Luoran shamelessly. Lin Luoran grits her teeth and casts the Golden Blade spell on the inhibition. The golden sword cuts on the inhibition, but nothing happens. You are just a chi trainer. How dare you try to break my inhibition? Ridiculous. The bloodline in the big black hand is like a chick. As the black shadow speaks, the bloodline suddenly exerts its strength. The bloodline ends up like the bat in the blood sacrifice. With a bang, the bloodline is pinched into pieces. Crystal's maroon eyes are dull. Clearly, the bloodline is taking revenge on her for sacrificing the bat. The black shadow seems to be digesting the bloodline's flesh and blood. Lin Luoran sees this opportunity and is about to risk using a high-level spell of the nature of gold to break the inhibition. However, White Fairy, who has been missing since they stepped on the mountain, suddenly says, "Use the fire arrow spell. You only have one chance. Hurry up." White Fairy sounds anxious. This is the first time Lin Luoran has seen her like this. However, even Crystal and the other two don't hear White Fairy's voice. The figure in the black fog stops eating and tilts his head. He is a little surprised. Chapter 113. Fire Arrow Spell. Fire Arrow is a spell that can only be used in the late stage of training Qi. Like the healing spell, if Lin Luoran can't break the enchantment, she will be helpless. Hearing that the Venerable calls White Fairy "little guy," Lin Luoran finally understands why White Fairy has been hiding all this time. Maybe White Fairy noticed the evil Venerable as soon as Lin stepped into the mountain. Maybe White Fairy doesn't want to warn Lin Luoran, or she wants to wait and see. Judging from White Fairy's panicked tone, Lin Luoran believes that the former is more likely. Lin Luoran's thoughts are complicated, but she makes up her mind quickly. Hearing what the Venerable says, Lin Luoran makes up her mind immediately. She will listen to White Fairy this time. There are 108 hand gestures in total. Under the threat of life and death, Lin Luoran feels that she has never been so fast before. Her right hand moves quickly and it only takes her half a minute to finish the hand gestures of this spell. After finishing the hand gestures, Lin Luoran gathers a large amount of fire Reiki on her fingertips. Different from the fireball spell, a bow of void with fire on it first appears in front of Lin Luoran and floats in front of her. The Venerable seems to be interested in Lin Luoran. It stops absorbing the blood of the unlucky bloodline and grabs Lin Luoran with its huge hand. Lin Luoran puts her finger on the bowstring. At this moment, Dana, the vampire who has been keeping a low profile, spreads its wings and shouts, "Thunderstrike!" Lightning flashes in the silver veins on his wings and gathers in front of his chest. The lightning turns into a snake of lightning and rushes to the Venerable. Like crystals, blood punishment, this is Dana's unique skill. The snake of lightning rushes forward like thunder. Instead of attacking the big hand of the Venerable, it rushes to the shadow on the stone platform and hits him accurately. The thunder snakes collide with the black fog. Instead of being devoured like crystals, blood punishment, the thunder snakes are melting the black fog. As expected, thunder and lightning are the nemesis of demons since ancient times. Black Fog let out a muffled groan, as if he did not expect that this little electric snake could actually cause such damage to him. His solid body turned into nothingness on the stone platform. Crystal is happy, but Lin Luoran doesn't relax. If the Venerable is so easy to deal with, White Fairy won't be so scared. A flaming arrow is put on the bowstring made of fire Reiki. Lin Luoran is already tired when she pulls the bowstring. Just like the healing spell, the fire arrow spell can only be easily performed by cultivators in the level of training Qi. Lin Luoran is forcing herself to pull the bowstring. When Lin Luoran is about to release the fire arrow, the shadow on the stone platform gradually solidifies as expected. Dana can't keep a straight face anymore. He grits his teeth and releases another electric shock. The Venerable underestimates his enemy and he won't be shocked again. His big black hand moves faster than Dana's snake of lightning. He grabs Crystal and throws her to the snake of lightning. The man of the bloodline screams. Dana's expression changes drastically. He has to take back the snake of lightning. The more powerful the skill is, the more powerful the counterattack will be. The moment the snake of lightning enters Dana's body, he staggers a few steps. Blood comes out of his mouth uncontrollably. Apparently, his internal organs have been injured. Lin Luoran has no time to care about what is happening outside. Her right hand is in the air. Red light spots are floating around her body. She has pulled the bowstring to the fullest. The red arrow not only collects all the Reiki in Lin Luoran's body, but also all the fire Reiki in the surrounding area under the power of the mysterious spell. Everyone is attracted by the dazzling arrow tip. Only the Venerable on the stone platform is looking through the black fog at Lin Luoran's right wrist. The bead is always hidden under her sleeve. Even if it is exposed occasionally, people will think that it is just a simple pearl accessory. Now, the bead is burning hot. It is the first time that the Venerable shows up in front of the Venerable, and he is staring at it. What? The Venerable feels that the bead is familiar. He can't help but exclaims. He wants to run away at first, but then he stops. If it is the bead, how can it be in the hands of a Qi trainer with such a low level of cultivation? However, the Venerable can't stand the torment of the devil in his mind. He reaches for Lin Luoran with his black hand. Hiss, the fire arrow condensed with all the Reiki in Lin Luoran's body is shot out of her hand. It is shining brightly and the arrow is as sharp as a shooting star. This is the most powerful and gorgeous spell in the level of training Qi. This is the most beautiful arrow in the world. Like a shooting star, the arrow shot into the restriction formation set by the Black Shadow Venerable with a power that seemed to be able to break through the void. It was a clash between the pure fire attribute spiritual energy and the black fog of hell. What evil in this world could resist this prairie fire? Furthermore, the fire arrow spell was formed by condensing fire attribute spiritual energy into arrows. Its power was much higher than the elementary version of the fireball spell. Under the tearing of the fire arrow, the inhibition of the black fog is penetrated. First, a small hole collapses. Then, the entire inhibition of the hole collapses. Seeing that the black fog is rolling, Lin Luoran doesn't dare to waste any more time. She rushes forward with her exhausted body. Dana and the other two follow her closely. Obviously, they want to hitch a ride. As soon as Lin Luoran steps out of the inhibition, the three vampires catch up with her. At the same time, the black hand reaches for Lin Luoran's right wrist. Ah! Lin Luoran finally understands why the Snow of Bright was almost dead when she was caught by the black fog. The black hand is like a bottle of concentrated sulfuric acid. Although it didn't burn Lin Luoran's wrist, the sharp pain penetrates deep into her bones. Lin Luoran wants to give up her arm. Lin Luoran's heart sinks to the bottom. At the same time, the Venerable cries, "It's you." The Venerable suddenly lets go of Lin Luoran's wrist as if he has seen something terrible. Even his original body on the platform is shocked. The black fog is rolling and he loses his shape. It's now or never. Lin Luoran rushes out of the inhibition with her injured hand and rushes to the hole. The Venerable is furious. The black fog rolls and he reappears. Regardless of the injury caused by the bead, he tries to catch Lin Luoran again. However, Crystal follows him closely. The hole is too narrow for the Venerable to catch Lin Luoran. Dana narrows his eyes and follows the Venerable. Only the man of the bloodline is loyal. He pushes Crystal away and willingly falls into the evil's hands. "Ancestor, your people will never betray you." The man of the bloodline knows that he has no chance to survive in the hands of the Venerable, so he explodes himself. Bang! The bats at the hole eat the man of the bloodline. The Venerable is also annoyed by the bats. Lin Luoran keeps running along the underground river. Finally, she sees a ray of light. She is about to collapse when she hears a clear chirp of a bird outside. It's Goldie. Chapter 114. Pa bought a ticket for the next day, so he will write one chapter each day. But it will definitely be more than 3,000 words. Today, the chapter is almost 4,000 words. Please don't shoot me seeing thousands of bats flying around the peak. Li Shi intuitively feels that something is wrong. She asks Goldie to take her to check, but Goldie refuses to go near the peak. "If you don't go, what if senior sister Lin is in danger?" Li stomps her feet in anger. She leaves Goldie and runs to the mountain. After a while, she feels a shadow on the ground. She looks up and finds that Goldie has caught up with her. That's right. Li pats Goldie's head and gets on the back of Goldie. She directs Goldie to fly to the mountain. After a while, she finds a cave at the foot of the mountain. Li wants to go in, but Goldie grabs her sleeve with its beak and tries to stop her. What's in the cave? The more Goldie acts like this, the more worried Li is about Lin. However, no matter how smart Goldie is, it can't speak. Goldie is so anxious that it can't tell Li what's in the cave. There are still a few bats at the entrance of the cave. Goldie is still suppressing them, so they don't dare to come up and eat Lin's flesh. At this moment, Lin Luoran staggers out of the cave. Li Shi sees that Lin Luoran is in a mess and is about to ask her. Lin Luoran shouts, "Go!" Goldie lowers its body and Lin gets on its back. Li follows Goldie closely and grabs its feathers. Crystal and Dana, who are following Lin, have no time to be surprised by Lin's mount. They spread their wings and fly to the sky with Goldie almost at the same time. However, they are going in different directions. Bats are flying at the entrance of the cave. A roar comes from inside the cave. The whole mountain is shaking as if it is about to be overturned from the inside. A black skull flies out of the hole and chases after Goldie. In a few seconds, it has shortened the distance between Goldie and Goldie. Li Shi looks back and trembles in fear. She throws a golden blade spell at it, but it is like a stone sinking into the sea. It doesn't even make a ripple. Sister, what is this? Lin Luoran is lying on Goldie's back. Her shoulders are swollen and she has no reiki left. She has no energy to answer Li. She glances at the bead on her wrist. It must be the bead that made the Black Shadow Venerable chase after her. Promise me 3 things in the future, and I will save you. White Fairy's voice rings in Lin's head for the 2nd time today. It rekindles Lin's hope. What is it? Lin Luoran doesn't know what White Fairy wants to do. Even though it is an emergency, she doesn't want to fall into her trap. White Fairy smiles, I haven't thought about it yet. But I will not embarrass you or exceed your ability. What do you think? If you agree, then swear on your inner demons. It's like a bank loan. You can buy a house right now, but you have to pay for it in your next life. After the crisis is over, you have to worry about it for the rest of your life. Lin Luoran has no choice. Nobody will die if she doesn't buy a house. If she doesn't agree with the fairy's 3 conditions, she, Goldie and Li Shi-er will die right away. I agree. Lin Luoran grits her teeth and makes the so-called Oath of the Devil under the guidance of White Fairy. White Fairy chuckles and comes out of the Soul Stone. Lin Luoran pats Goldie to ask it to speed up. White Fairy is wearing a palace dress. Her smile is charming. The black skull suddenly opens its mouth. Young man, get out of the way. Do you really want your primordial spirit to be destroyed? White Fairy smiles, Venerable, we are all the same. Why are you laughing at me? The black skull snorts, even when you were alive, you were just a lowly chi trainer. How dare you compare me with you? You are courting death. White Fairy sneers. She reaches out and points. The surrounding scenery changes dramatically. Time goes back leisurely. Mountains rise from the ground. Today's river was originally a desert. Now the sand was even glaciers before. The black skull is stunned. It is very familiar with this scenery. Is it his territory tens of thousands of years ago? Just as he thought about this, a group of bats flew over from the lush mountains. One of them had a patch of white fur on its head and was about a meter tall. It landed on the ground and transformed into a beautiful young lady. She smiled and said, Venerable One, what took you so long? Venerable. The skull looks down at itself. Isn't it a big bat? With a thought, he also transformed into human form. He was actually a tall and sturdy man with a beard. Why are you here? The Black Shadow Venerable calls out the name of the Bat Girl. It feels strange to him as if he hasn't called her like this for many years. Looking at the beautiful girl beside him, the Black Shadow Venerable feels that he thinks too much. Surrounded by a group of bats, the two return to their residence. It is a beautiful place with beautiful mountains and clear waters. Flowers bloom all year round. It is a beautiful place surrounded by fairy mist. Halfway up the mountain, there was a vast flat area. A throne carved out of white marble was faintly discernible in the mist. There was also the sound of drumming. Air was like a fairy running in the forest. Every glance and smile of hers was enough to captivate him. Venerable, I have prepared a song and dance for you. The Black Shadow Venerable wants to shake his head and say that he doesn't want to watch the song and dance. He just wants to talk to her. He feels that he hasn't talked to for a long time. However, is as smooth as a breeze in the mountains. She escapes from his hand with a smile. Is used to playing this kind of trick. The Black Shadow Venerable laughs and doesn't ask further. He sits on the throne and watches the song and dance. The dancers are all very beautiful. They are wearing soft and elegant white linen dresses. Their long hair is loose, but it can't hide their beauty. The Black Shadow Venerable remembers that these girls are not from his tribe. He has always been protective of his people, so he will never ask the girls of his tribe to learn this charming song and dance. Taking a closer look, the leader is indeed a girl from the single-horned deer family. She has a small antler on her head and her eyes are so innocent that they are touching. Every girl here is more beautiful than the bat girl Yen. However, the Black Shadow Venerable is not in the mood to watch the dance. Where is Yen? As soon as he thinks about it, the scene in front of him changes again. The white-haired bat flies back from the sky. One of its wings seems to be injured, so it is difficult for it to fly. Yen. The guard next to the Black Shadow Venerable instantly turns into a bat and rushes forward to protect the bat. The bat turns into the girl named Yen, when it lands on the ground. One of her arms is injured, and the bright red blood makes the Black Shadow Venerable furious. Who hurt you? Yen, is not very beautiful, but she has a delicate temperament. Now she is pouting, which can make people's heart melt. That Chi trainer is so hateful. That Chi cultivator is so despicable. I only caught 2 ordinary people to quench my thirst, but he didn't say anything and slashed me with his sword. Luckily, Yen ran fast. Otherwise, how could I see the Honorable again? Yen-er's face was pale and full of sadness. The Black Shadow Venerable frowns and asks someone to take Yen-er down to bandage her wound. He flies to the top of the mountain and looks at the smoke rising from the human village in the distance. His eyes are full of killing intent. Another Chi trainer. Before his intelligence was awakened, he was a special species among the bats. He was born to be the king. The whole bat clan worked together to feed him. No matter if it was the weak human beings or the strange beasts from the untainted land, none of them had the power to fight back when they encountered the vampire bats. When he gradually developed his intelligence, he refined his body with the essence of the sun and the moon. After a long time, he awakened many talents and abilities. Wherever he led the vampire bats, they were invincible. Although the meat of the monsters was very nourishing, it was not as delicious as the soft skin and tender meat of the human race. Besides, the human race was easy to catch. All the capable beasts in the prehistoric world loved this kind of food. In the Black Shadow Venerable's mind, eating people was a very normal thing. Until one day, a person suddenly appeared. The Black Shadow Venerable seems to ignore that person subconsciously. As time went by, people called Chi trainers gradually appeared among the human race. These people refined the Reiki of heaven and earth into their bodies. It seemed that they were born to be more suitable for cultivation than the other species. In just a few thousand years, they had learned to use external objects. They could fly in the sky and dig into the ground. They could make clouds and rain with a flip of their hands. They could even threaten some prehistoric monsters. The Black Shadow Venerable sneered. These clowns were just so. Those prehistoric monsters were born with the will of heaven, but they were so disappointing. They were just eating 2 ordinary people. However, these Chi trainers dared to hurt his Yen-er. They really looked down on him. The nearby Chi trainers could only be found on a mountain called Mount Qinghuan. Even so, he might as well catch all of them and let Yen-er vent her anger. That night, the starry sky is especially bright. The Venerable has gathered all the masters in the tribe and they are hovering above Mount Qinghuan. The Chi trainer who injured the white-haired bat and saved the villagers is the successor of this generation of Mount Qinghuan. He talks about what happened during the day with his master under the moonlight. The old cultivator with white hair and beard is full of praise for his apprentice. The Tao of Heaven is not alone. You did a good job. As soon as the old cultivator finished his words, screams came from the mountain where his apprentices rested. Mount Qinghuan was covered in black fog and the stars were all covered. The Black Shadow Venerable came from the moonlight. The old cultivator was killed on the spot. The rest of the people, including the young Chi trainer who hurt the bat, were all taken back to their territory by the blood bats. The starry night is shining. The young cultivator hasn't recovered from the shock of his grandmaster's death. The Black Shadow Venerable throws his junior fellow apprentice in front of him. Tell me, is it right or wrong for us to eat people? The Venerable lowered his head and asked the young Chi trainer. The Chi trainer answered coldly without thinking, "It's wrong." The venerable waved his fingers like a knife, and the young Chi trainer was cut into pieces in front of him. All the Chi trainers were shocked. The young Chi trainer bit his lips. Every day, the venerable killed one of his apprentices in front of the Chi trainer who hurt Yen, and asked him if it was right or wrong for him to eat people. 351 people. A year passed by quickly. Yen had long forgotten about the injury. She went to the village from time to time to satisfy her cravings. It was such a wonderful life. The last one who was thrown in front of the young Chi trainer was his 7-year-old junior sister. She had just joined Xinguan 3 days ago, and she was just an ordinary girl in the mortal world. On the Green Phoenix Mountain, whether it is the cook or the old lady who sweeps, they are all Chi trainers with some cultivation. Only this junior sister apprentice is a real mortal. She was only 6 years old when she entered the sect. Because she was still growing her teeth, her voice was soft. She chased after them and called them senior brothers and sisters. Everyone liked her. Yen, Seeing his junior sister was brought in front of him, the young Chi trainer's clear eyes wavered for the first time. "Senior brother, it is wrong to eat people." The little girl named Momo clenched her fists. The young Chi trainer murmured to himself, "Beasts don't kidnap people, so why should people kill beasts? What is right in the world?" The Black Shadow Venerable laughed, "The law of the jungle is the law of the world. I am stronger than you, so it is right to eat you. You are stronger than me, so you can eat me." Momo's face was so hungry that it was only the size of a palm. She raised her head stubbornly, "It is wrong to eat people." The Black Shadow Venerable spread his fingers and asked coldly, "Let me ask you again. Is it right or wrong to eat people?" The young Chi refinement warrior's eyes were filled with pain. The scene of 350 fellow disciples being torn apart in front of him haunted his Tao heart every night. If he did not experience it himself, no one would be able to empathize with what he had experienced. However, Momo was still so young and she had never learned any Taoist spells. Who was qualified to let her bear the catastrophe of the Qingyuan school? However, if he answered, "It is right to eat people," would the 350 apprentices of the Qingyuan school die in peace? The young Chi trainer closed his eyes in pain. The Black Shadow Venerable sneered and grabbed Momo with his claws. She was defenseless. As long as the Black Shadow Venerable's claws fell on her, she would be torn into pieces like all the Chi trainers of the Qingyuan school. Is the law of the jungle the law of the world? The voice was plain, but it sounded like a breeze, a mountain spring, or a floating cloud in the sky. It sounded amiable, but no one could figure out where it came from. "Stop playing tricks." The Black Shadow Venerable didn't care about it and waved his claws. Chapter 115. Outside the lonely peak, the sun is blazing. White Fairy is a soul. Even her human body is illusionary, not to mention her clothes. She is gorgeous but lacks a sense of reality. However, at this moment, White Fairy's palace dress is fluttering even though there is no wind. Her complacent face turns sweaty. She is sweating because she is under a lot of pressure. Her appearance comes from her heart, which is reflected in her invisible body. The black skull is 10 feet away from her. White Fairy puts a beam of light on it. The surrounding scenery is like a fleeting light and a passing shadow, returning to the picture that the Black Shadow Venerable has been thinking about for thousands of years. The scene of towering mountains but deserted people occasionally flashes in front of White Fairy. She becomes an illusion and goes deep into the Black Shadow Venerable's soul. Through his eyes, she sees the Black Shadow Venerable's past. This is the supreme illusion spell that she painstakingly developed after being trapped in the abyss for thousands of years. If she uses it to deal with Lin Luoran, it will be like cutting melons and vegetables. White Fairy will feel that it is not worth it. However, White Fairy has never thought that the illusion spell that she has practiced for thousands of years will be used to deal with a primitive monster for the first time. At first, she only thought that the magnetic mountain was suppressing a mighty figure of diabolism. She never expected that it would be a primitive monster. Yes, she should have thought of it. Except for the mighty figures of primitive times, most people were called cultivators. Who would call them the ancient name of chi cultivator? In her time, the Lost Land was just a place for trial. Many high-level monsters were killed by White Fairy. However, White Fairy never thought that one day she would be in a stalemate with a primitive monster. Even though they are both souls, there is still a big gap between them. Fortunately, it seems that he is suppressed under the magnetic mountain. White Fairy grits her teeth and increases her control of the illusion. The picture changes quickly. Through the eyes of the Black Shadow Venerable, White Fairy sees a hand. That is. White Fairy finds it familiar at first, and then she is shocked. Playing tricks on me. The Black Shadow Venerable ignores the erratic voice and keeps attacking. Bang! Under his sharp claws, Tao Wu's small body is torn into pieces. The young Qi trainer can't bear the impact and passes out. The Black Shadow Venerable smiles provocatively. He only laughs at the mysterious voice. Not only does it break into his territory, but it also tries to meddle in other people's business. But what could he do? Didn't he have to watch this little human girl die under his claws with his own eyes? The Black Shadow Venerable is complacent. The voice sounds like a sigh, which makes him feel weird. He looks at the blood under his feet. Where is it human blood? The human girl's torn body also disappeared. Only the big stone under his feet was left. Dust flew everywhere under his claw, and gravel covered the ground. Was he trying to substitute someone else for someone else? The Black Shadow Venerable frowns. Substitute for Tao Jiang is not a very clever technique among Qi trainers. The Black Shadow Venerable has never seen anyone who can perform substitute for Tao Jiang under his nose. He finally looks up at the entrance of the dungeon. The first thing the Black Shadow Venerable sees is a hand. The fingers are slender and clean. They are not fancy or white, but they look like jade. There is a pearl on the wrist, which makes it even harder to tell whether it is a man or a woman. The little human girl named Momo is lying in this man's arms. The Black Shadow Venerable finally sees his face clearly. His long hair is casually hanging, and he is wearing the most common cotton and linen robe. His facial features are not ugly, but they don't stand out at all. The Black Shadow Venerable glances at him and seems to forget him in the blink of an eye. However, the Black Shadow Venerable is sure that this is a human man. Lao Ai's eyes were closed, sleeping soundly. This dungeon was extremely filthy. The 350 Qi cultivators of Qingyuan Mountain were only a small portion of them. There used to be more people and more demon blood splattered here. However, as soon as this man stepped in, the filthy air slowly dissipated. He was clearly a very ordinary human man, and his steps were also languid. Yet, this dungeon was filled with a fresh air. Is it because I am stronger than you that I can kill you and humiliate you at will? The man in the robe asks casually in a relaxed tone, as if he is asking the Black Shadow Venerable if he has eaten today. The Black Shadow Venerable stares at the man in the robe. There is nothing special about this man, and he doesn't even have any cultivation. This is the scariest part. The Black Shadow Venerable suddenly disappears. The next second, he appears in front of the man in the robe. The bat's teeth stop 2 inches away from the man's neck. It is not that the Black Shadow Venerable doesn't want to or can't move. It is that the man in the robe gently points at him, and the time and space around the Black Shadow Venerable are frozen. The Black Shadow Venerable opens his eyes, but he can't move at all. The Black Shadow Venerable used to fight against Qi trainers and powerful monsters in the wilderness. He has mastered his supernatural power for many years, but he has never been suppressed by someone else with just a finger before he could do anything. The man in the robe is relaxed. He doesn't think it is a big deal. He just asks lightly, "Did you kill the 351 people from the Mount of Qinghuan?" The Black Shadow Venerable moves his lower lip and finds that he can speak again, "Yes." "You are quite responsible," the man in the robe says lightly. He looks down at the little girl, Momo, who is sleeping soundly in his arms, and says to himself, humans eat beasts, and beasts eat humans. It is the natural selection of the fittest. If you want to fill your stomach, you eat them. What's wrong with that? He suddenly raises his head. Did you catch more than 300 people from the Mount of Qinghuan to fill your stomach? The Black Shadow Venerable is silent. This man in the robe is not friendly. Maybe he is an old friend of the Mount of Qinghuan for revenge. If he tells the truth, the Black Shadow Venerable knows that the result will not be good. However, the man in the robe is staring at him indifferently, or maybe he is staring somewhere else. The man in the robe is so casual that the Black Shadow Venerable can't lie. Lie, this is such a strange word. The Black Shadow Venerable has never lied in the wilderness for so many years. No, I caught them to humiliate them and to kill time. If you want to kill them, just kill them. Don't talk nonsense. The man in the robe suddenly smiles. You are quite honest. Are you trying to provoke me to kill you and let your people go? The Black Shadow Venerable's pupils shrink. This man wants to exterminate the whole clan. The man in the robe waves his hand, and the guard of the Black Shadow Venerable appears in the dungeon. Venerable. He was the most talented junior in the younger generation of his clan, and he had only been promoted as a guard for about 10 years. For the demon cultivators of the Blood Bat clan who had gained sentience, their lives were long and boundless, and 10 years was just a snap of the fingers. That is to say, this young monster cultivator is very talented and has a bright future in the Vampire Bat clan. Is it right or wrong for humans to eat beasts? Before the Black Shadow Venerable answers, the guard answers, humans are as weak as ants. Of course, they are born to be eaten by us. The man in the robe laughs. The Black Shadow Venerable can't refute the young guard, because this is the idea he has always instilled in the Black Shadow Venerable. Humans are like ants, beasts are the masters of the wilderness, and humans only deserve to live in the cracks. Look at their joy, their mood, and their needs. Humans eat beasts? They deserve to die. The man in the robe shakes his head and gently points his finger. The young guard of the Vampire Bat clan can't resist at all. First, he is bound on the spot and can't move, just like the Black Shadow Venerable. Then he metamorphoses into his original form, a 2-meter-long vampire bat. Then the bat turns into dust under the nose of the Black Shadow Venerable. A breeze blows it away and it disappears without a trace. The Black Shadow Venerable controls the Black Shadow Venerable and destroys the Vampire Bat guard with one finger. White Fairy happens to see this scene. Her primordial spirit and remnant soul are all shaken, and the illusion she sets almost collapses at once. The Black Shadow Venerable also loses his mind when he remembers this scene. With White Fairy's help, the illusionary land is still stable. In the illusionary land, tens of thousands of years have passed. In fact, it has only been a quarter of an hour since the Black Shadow Venerable entered the illusionary land. Goldie's flying speed is nothing to White Fairy. If the Black Skull can run further, it can catch up with them in less than a quarter of an hour. White Fairy also wants to take back her hand. However, since she knows that the Black Shadow Venerable is a primitive monster, she has no way to retreat. She will either win, or her primordial spirit will be destroyed. When she sees the scene in the memory of the Black Shadow Venerable again, it is in the square surrounded by clouds and mist. The man in the robe is sitting on the white marble throne casually. The little girl Momo is staring at the square with her eyes wide open. More than 800 vampire bats who have developed intelligence and know how to cultivate are all standing on the square at this time. That finger of the man in robe was terrifying. As long as he pointed at someone, that bat would disappear into the air under the bright light of the universe. Killing someone was just a matter of nodding one's head to the ground. Such a way of dying without an intact corpse, completely obliterated from the world, even the ferocious vampire bat race would be terrified. Yes, the Black Shadow Venerable is terrified, especially when the man in the robe points at Yen. At that moment, he has to admit that he feels regretful. It's you, right? For you, he tortured and killed more than 300 people in the Cyan Phoenix Mountain. You were only slightly injured that day, but Cyan Phoenix has to pay such a price. In this case, if you pay the debt now, your life will be worth it. The man in the robe still says in an unhurried tone, but he makes a conclusion for Yen. Momo opens her eyes wide and stares at Yen, who looks delicate. It's her. All her senior brothers and sisters are dead. The old master who saved her is also dead. So many people and bats have died for her, but she is still so pitiful. Momo secretly makes up her mind that she will never be such a woman when she grows up. If you dare to hurt her, my blood bat clan will be your enemy for generations to come. Even if you kill all the experts in my clan, there will be more blood bats who have achieved success in their cultivation and will seek revenge on you. The man in the robe points out his finger. Yen's face turns pale. The black shadow venerable finally can't help roaring. The man in the robe turns his head. For the first time, he shows an expression other than indifference, a blood feud forever. He points his finger down and sneers, even so, your vampire bat family will never be able to cultivate again. You will drink blood every day and never be wise again. Even so, your vampire bat family will never be able to cultivate again. You will drink blood every day and never be wise again. The words of the man in the robe seem to be engraved between heaven and earth. White Fairy's illusion finally collapses in an instant. When you read this chapter, Pa has already got on the train. He won't be home until the evening of the 8th, try to keep updating. Chapter 116. Outside the sunny lonely peak, White Fairy's primordial spirit feels cold. As soon as the illusion is broken, the black skull makes a circle. White Fairy grits her teeth and casts the last ray of light in her hand. She wants to put the black skull into the illusion again before it comes to itself. As expected, the black skull is stunned again under the light. White Fairy feels relieved, but the black skull suddenly turns into a human figure and pinches White Fairy's primordial spirit. White Fairy is frightened. The person in front of her has a clear face. It is the primitive monster she saw in the illusion, maybe it is the man in robe who finally suppressed him under the magnetic mountain. At the moment, the black shadow venerable has been suppressed for thousands of years, but there is still indelible hostility on his face. It is the unwillingness of falling into the devil abyss for thousands of years. You are just a chi trainer. How dare you play tricks in front of me? If you didn't let me see Yen again, your primordial spirit would have been destroyed. Yen the beautiful girl of the vampire bat family. White Fairy shudders. She doesn't think it's love at all. That girl is obviously a jinx. White Fairy has a feeling that she is going to be unlucky if she has anything to do with her. It's like a dark cloud hanging over her head and she can't get rid of it. As expected, the black shadow venerable snorts coldly, you have done something good, but you have done more wrong. I have to punish you. Otherwise, how can I face the dead vampire bats? Even though White Fairy is a cultivator thousands of years ago, she still wants to curse like a commoner in the mortal world. Those little bats were sacrificed by the barbarian. How can they have anything to do with her? In fact, the female barbarian didn't get anything. Recently, all the essence and blood have fallen into the hands of the venerable. He is the one who benefits from it. The black shadow venerable touches her forehead. He doesn't look at White Fairy anymore and throws her out. White Fairy is pleasantly surprised. She runs away quickly according to the connection between the soul stones. The black shadow venerable just stands there and doesn't chase after her. He just senses the direction of White Fairy and sneers. I can no longer cultivate, huh? You probably didn't expect me to break free. Since that's the case, I'll let you witness the prosperity of the Blood Bat clan. The magnetic mountain shakes and a few bats fly out of it. The black shadow venerable attaches a few strands of his spiritual mind to the bats and waves his hand. The bats chase after Lin Luoran and Crystal. The black shadow venerable stands still and looks up at the sky. There is day and night in the Lost Land, but there is no sun, stars, or moon. However, if he leaves the range of the lone peak, he will inevitably, in the clear sky, there is a burst of thunder and a bucket-thick purple lightning strikes down. The Black Shadow Venerable has an idea and returns to the Bat Cave again. The purple lightning fell on the place where he was standing. Boom! A loud sound rang out, and a deep pit that was over 100 feet deep appeared there. In the distance, a group of people notices the movement here. Yosuke Yamaguchi, who is wearing a kimono, stares at the strange phenomenon in the sky of the magnetic mountain with greed in his eyes. He turns around and murmurs to the woman in kimono beside him. The woman in kimono keeps replying and they quickly come in this direction. In the other direction, the tall and strong man of the Russian team, nicknamed Polar Bear, smiles at his companions. What did those Huaxia idiots say? When dark clouds fall from the sky, it must be the birth of a rare treasure. The tall Russian beauty says disdainfully, then they are cultivators, not Huaxia idiots. Although they refute this, they can't hide the excitement in their hearts when they look at the direction of the magnetic mountain. Don't let others take the lead. Let's go first. Polar Bear snorts and takes the lead to rush over. Two of his companions are also injured. They don't know what happened to them. However, since they are going to the secret land, they are ready to risk their lives. They all follow Polar Bear to the magnetic mountain. Only the tall Russian beauty stomps her feet and murmurs. Finally, she has no choice but to follow Polar Bear. White Fairy's body has been nourished in the Soul Stone for thousands of years. In fact, she is not as weak as she said. However, at this moment, she can feel the connection with the Soul Stone. She can also feel that some power in her body is passing away little by little. The Black Shadow Venerable didn't respond at that time, but it seems to be slowly extracting her soul power. At this time, it shows a sign, which makes White Fairy feel a little uneasy. After running for half a day, she feels that the connection between her and the Soul Stone is getting closer and closer. She turns into a puff of light smoke and turns around a big tree. Then she disappears in place. Far behind her, two silent bats are circling around the big tree anxiously. Puff! Puff! Two small golden swords shot down from the tree and accurately pierced through the bats. Then, two fireballs came down with great power and enveloped the two bats. In just a moment, the bats were burned to ashes. The two spiritual minds don't need to be cleaned up at all. They are immediately detected by the dark cloud which acts like a radar. Two purple thunderbolts, which are thicker than a little finger, immediately disappear. Lin Luoran slides down from the tree, panting. She is stunned by the purple thunder. Lin Luoran doesn't know that there is a mysterious force interfering with the birth of the monster bat. Lin Luoran thinks that she is lucky and even the heavens are helping her. Seeing that even the spiritual minds on the bats are destroyed, White Fairy is relieved to show up. A cyan smoke emerges from the trunk. Except for the unstable soul, Lin can still see White Fairy's proud look. Lin Luoran can't help but let out a sigh of relief. It is true that White Fairy is mean. However, since they met, no matter what she is up to, she has given Lin Luoran more than she asked for. Lin Luoran really doesn't want anything to happen to her. You little girl, how dare you set up an ambush on the way? I don't know if you are stupid or really bold. White Fairy snorts. She seems to be dissatisfied, but in fact, she is moved by Lin Luoran's decision to stay and help her. Ahem. Lin Luoran coughs. She is not embarrassed. Wiping the blood on the corner of her mouth, Lin Luoran knows that her meridians have been dried up and her internal organs are burning. The self-healing ability of her body is amazing. Her spiritual mind was injured when she peeped at the man in robe casting spells in her dream and it healed itself after a while. Lin Luoran thinks that the injury on her body won't last long. Lin Luoran owes White Fairy a big favor, so she can't leave her behind. However, she can't drag Li Shi her down. Lin Luoran was running away on Goldie's back with exhausted Reiki. At the same time, she was worried that White Fairy might not catch up with them. Of course, Li Shi won't allow Lin Luoran to go back by herself. However, Lin Luoran knocks her out and ties her to Goldie's back. Lin Luoran asks Goldie to take Lin Luoran to the exit. White Fairy stares at the bead in Lin Luoran's right hand. From the memory of the bat monster, she knows why the Black Shadow Venerable wants this bead. This thing looks ordinary, but it is exactly the same as the one in the hand of the man in robe in the picture. Lin Luoran is lucky to get the inheritance of that man, so she can have such high personal ability at such a young age. Or she is the descendant of that man. The former possibility makes White Fairy tempted, but the latter possibility destroys her greed. Treasures have spirits and choose their owners. White Fairy can't believe that the bead will choose Lin Luoran, a useless cultivator. She can only think that the bead is the inheritance of her family. Taking a deep breath, White Fairy suppresses her greed and says in a hoarse voice, "The Black Shadow can send a bat to follow us. Maybe there is something else. We'd better get on the road as soon as possible." This time, she cast the illusion spell on the Black Shadow's soul. She has already suffered a great loss. Seeing that Lin Luoran nods, White Fairy wants to fly back to the Soul Stone to replenish her soul power. However, the next moment, she feels that something is rushing out of her body and she can't control her actions. White Fairy doesn't even know what is going on. In Lin Luoran's eyes, White Fairy is speechless. Her hands become dark and cold again. It is the same as the nether ghost claws she used to test Lin Luoran in the abyss. The claws come at Lin Luoran with the unique coldness of souls. At first, Lin Luoran wonders why the White Fairy is in the mood to joke at this time. Her body is alert and she avoids the cold light. Lin Luoran is sweating all over when she notices the White Fairy's killing intent. Has White Fairy been covering up from the beginning? No. Looking at White Fairy's dark face, Lin Luoran quickly makes a judgment. Even if White Fairy couldn't kill Lin Luoran because she wanted to get out of the abyss, she had many chances to kill Lin Luoran along the way. Why did she suddenly turn hostile? There is only one explanation. She is being controlled now. Lin Luoran is anxious. She tries to avoid the White Fairy who is laughing and shouts, "Fairy, wake up." White Fairy doesn't seem to hear her. Lin Luoran has no choice but to shout, "Fairy, you haven't avenged yourself yet." Perhaps White Fairy's plot has always been a big scar in her heart. Lin Luoran sees White Fairy's face twitching and her soul dispersing. After a fierce struggle, White Fairy finally looks normal. "Fairy." Seeing White Fairy floating in the air, Lin Luoran tries to speak. Black smoke flashes on White Fairy's face. Lin Luoran is so scared that she steps back 10 meters. "You are too timid. My spiritual mind is in charge now." White Fairy's familiar and arrogant voice comes. Lin Luoran touches her beating heart. When she is about to sigh about the ups and downs of her mood, White Fairy's expression changes again. The strand of spiritual mind planted by the dead bat monster is too strong. If I didn't refine it as soon as possible, I'm afraid that it would lose its nature. Junior, I'm afraid I have to close my eyes and fall into a deep sleep. Deep sleep? Before Lin Luoran can speak, White Fairy seems to have no time to explain. She turns into a wisp of smoke and disappears into her universal sac. After a while, Lin Luoran hears a sigh. A crystal memory bead floats out of the universal sac and disappears between Lin Luoran's eyebrows. Lin Luoran has experienced this before, so she doesn't panic this time. However, while exploring the content of the memory bead, Lin Luoran can't help feeling happy and sad. Chapter 117. Inside the secret realm, the spirit chi was abundant. Usually, when a person breathed in and out, all the pores on their body would open up, making them feel extremely comfortable. Lin Luoran has just thought of the method of breathing while running. Since Reiki of the 5 elements are everywhere in this world, why should she stick to the rule that she can only meditate and cultivate at night? Other cultivators chose to meditate at night only because the spiritual energy in the world was becoming increasingly scarce. Only when everything returned to tranquility after the hustle and bustle of the day could they capture the grumpy spiritual energy molecules and concentrate their minds to absorb and refine them. However, for Lin Luoran, with the help of the bead in the mortal world, she doesn't need to transform the agitated Reiki molecules. In fact, she can use the method of inhalation and exhalation in her daily life. Doesn't that mean that she will spend more time on cultivation? It is not difficult for Lin Luoran to control the rhythm of breathing and the frequency of inhalation and exhalation. However, if she wants to make it an instinctive reaction of the body, she has to spend more effort to stick to this breathing method. Lin Luoran is running in the mountains and forests. She keeps her breath at the same frequency as before. After a few mountains, she feels that the burning pain in her meridians caused by the overdraft of Reiki is reduced a lot. Lin Luoran is overjoyed. The effect of this method is immediate. Instead of passively absorbing Reiki from the secret land, Lin Luoran actively absorbs Reiki while she is walking. The effect is immediately seen. Lin Luoran is not fast. On the one hand, her internal organs are injured. On the other hand, the memory bead that White Fairy gave her before she fell asleep contains too much information. Lin Luoran has to sort it out in her mind while running. There are elixirs, magic weapons, spells, and so on in the level of laying foundation. There is nothing. Lin Luoran looks at the bead and thinks there will be spells of the level of laying foundation. However, she is disappointed that there is no such thing. What's more, White Fairy left a message saying that Lin Luoran has inherited something that no one else can reach. Therefore, she should focus on cultivation. Compared with her inheritance, other spells are nothing. Even the elixirs, magic weapons, spells and so on are for Lin Luoran to comprehend by analogy. Lin Luoran feels that White Fairy is jealous when she talks about Lin Luoran's inheritance. Lin Luoran looks at the bead on her wrist. Maybe the cabin in the space is the so-called inheritance that White Fairy is jealous of. However, Lin Luoran wants to roll her eyes because the cabin is covered by a layer of inhibition all year round. Even if there is an inheritance, she can't get it now. If it is like the inhibition of the Black Shadow Venerable, Lin Luoran can still use her flying sword or spells to break it. However, the problem is that the cabin is hers. Lin Luoran will suffer if she breaks it. Speaking of the flying sword, Lin Luoran summons her snow sword. Judging from its weak appearance, Lin Luoran can't even ride the sword. According to White Fairy, the snow sword has been contaminated by the evil. It must be recast with the earth fire or be dispelled with Reiki. Only then can it be used again. Lin Luoran can forget about recasting it with the earth fire for now. In the art of refining weapons, cultivators below the level of laying foundation can't even use the finishing spells when the weapons are completed. How can she recast them? However, Lin Luoran is drooling over the prescriptions given by White Fairy. Lin Luoran puts them aside and reads the prescription of foundation laying bolus twice. After thinking for a while, Lin Luoran finally makes up her mind to make the bolus herself. Instead of covering her face and trying her luck to find the foundation-laying bolus left by the ancestors in some relic or cave, Lin Luoran would rather use the rest of her time to collect the spirit herbs needed for making the bolus and make the bolus herself after she gets out of here. Although making bolus will take a lot of effort, it is much more practical than relying on luck to find the foundation-laying bolus. What's more, the main ingredient for the foundation-laying bolus is the 1,000-year-old luminous sand that even the space can't grow. Lin Luoran has collected a lot of luminous sand after escaping from death this time. There are even 10,000-year-old luminous sand. God is helping me. Lin Luoran encourages herself in her mind. Although she doesn't have any cultivation methods, she can practice the spells of water sword given by White Fairy this time. Lin Luoran takes back the snow sword and summons the bright sword. The combination of 2 swords and 1 hairpin is a must-have item for traveling. It's like driving a car with a spare tire. You don't need to worry that the car won't be able to move in case of an accident. The spare tire is really powerful. According to White Fairy, Lin Luoran needs to find the bright sword one day and combine it with the bright sword in order to make the most of the sword's spell of water sword. Lin Luoran smiles bitterly. She has the bright sword, but the snow sword has been tainted with evil qi. How sad. White Fairy gave Lin Luoran a memory bead in a hurry, and now she has a mini encyclopedia of cultivation before the level of bearing essence. Lin Luoran is very grateful to White Fairy. No matter what White Fairy wants, Lin Luoran doesn't know how to pay back what she owes White Fairy. Lin Luoran pulls up a spirit herb by the valley and can't help thinking about White Fairy's first request again. The first of the 3 requests is to find the biggest piece of 10,000-year hollow azurite for Lin Luoran. According to White Fairy's description, 10,000-year hollow azurite is a kind of magic medicine in the world of personal ability. When refining ordinary elixirs, as long as a little powder of 10,000-year hollow azurite is added, the quality of the elixir will be improved. Just like white truffles in the secular world, they are sold by grams instead of a large piece of white truffles. Therefore, this requirement is not easy at all. However, the more White Fairy does this, the more relaxed Lin Luoran feels. Lin Luoran is not related to White Fairy. If White Fairy keeps helping her without asking for anything in return, Lin Luoran will feel that she owes White Fairy something, which will damage her state of mind on the road of cultivation. Along the way, Lin Luoran pulls out some spirit herbs that can be used as reference in White Fairy's prescription. Lin Luoran finds some of them are not available. She finds that they are full of reiki, so she throws them into the space. After a few days of searching, Lin Luoran doesn't have a long way to go. If she wants to get to the exit on time, she can only ride on her sword in the rest of the days. Maybe it's because of the abundant reiki in the secret land, Lin Luoran, who is slow, finally finds that the field in the space has become bigger. In the past, the space and the log cabin took up less than half an acre of land. The log cabin took up more than 1/3 of the land. The rest of the land is not big and is full of grass of unknown use. Lin Luoran also needs to remove the small pond. She can only grow a little of each kind of medicine garden and vegetable field. Now, spirit herbs are everywhere in the space and the smell of herbs is everywhere. However, Lin Luoran doesn't notice that the space is crowded. Lin Luoran takes a closer look and finds that the log cabin is still the same size. However, the space is more than half an acre of land. Does it mean that the more spirit herbs she grows, the more beneficial it will be for the development of the space? Lin Luoran doesn't know the answer. She picks an open space beside the log cabin and plants some peach pits. According to the time of the space, 1 day is 1 year. She can eat delicious peaches before she gets out of the secret land. As for the planting of the spirit herbs, Lin Luoran needs to wait for a few days before she can get out of the secret land. She is not in a hurry. She also moves the monkey wine in the universal sack into the space. In addition to the soul stone where White Fairy lives, she also collects countless seeds of spirit herbs that she doesn't know the purpose of. Some of the spirit herbs that are not mature enough are transplanted into the space. Lin Luoran only collects the seeds of the spirit herbs that she doesn't know the purpose of. The secret land only opens once in 100 years. Even though cultivators above the level of training qi can enter the secret land, the opening time is limited. Lin Luoran has to wait for another 100 years before she can enter the secret land again. A few days ago, Lin Luoran's internal organs were injured, so she couldn't fly on the sword. She walks in the forest for 5 days. When she has enough reiki, Lin Luoran chooses to fly on the sword. After 3 days of flying, Lin Luoran finally sees the peach mountain they came from. She didn't visit the old monkey because she was afraid that the fresh peaches planted with peach pits would be different from the original ones. Lin Luoran stealthily tore off some peach branches from the peach mountain and put them in the space. 8 days later, the fresh peaches Lin Luoran planted in the space have borne fruit. She compares them with the ones on the peach mountain and finds that they taste better. Lin Luoran wonders if she can make spirit wine like the monkeys when she gets out of the secret land. This idea even dispels the slight uneasiness in her heart. It has been 19 days since they fell off the cliff. As long as Lin Luoran doesn't waste too much time, it won't be a big problem for her to get back to the entrance of the secret land in 1 month. What makes Lin Luoran uneasy is that it has been 8 days since she sent Li Shi, and Goldie away. However, neither of them has come back to look for her. Not to mention Li Shi's personality, the contract between her and Goldie means that Goldie won't leave its master alone. That's why Lin Luoran is worried that something might have happened to them on the way. Lin Luoran doesn't need to worry too much about the foundation-laying bolus because she has the space. She doesn't need to look at the age of the spirit medicine, which is much more convenient than other people. Therefore, Lin Luoran doesn't plan to look for the spirit medicine on purpose. Instead, she focuses on flying towards the exit. After 2 more days of flying on the sword, Lin Luoran stops in front of a big river. The river is turbulent and sand is rolling. Looking as far as Lin Luoran can see nothing but the surging waves. She has no idea how wide the river is. That's not the point. While flying on the sword, Lin Luoran can see several figures the size of rabbits flashing on the river bank. Lin Luoran takes a closer look. She can't see them clearly because of the distance. However, she is sure that they are the first human beings she has seen in the past 10 days. Lin Luoran takes out the jade slip and sees 10 flashing light spots. They are very close to each other. Lin Luoran is overjoyed. Is it really so easy for her to find them? It seems that she has met them together. But, who are the rest of them? Chapter 118. I'm done with the second chapter. I'm in a good mood tonight. I'll post it as soon as possible. Also, Tears-Stained Red Plains, your cameo has already appeared. Unlike Lin Luoran, Li Shi is in a dilemma after she wakes up from Goldie's back. As Lin Luoran guesses, Li Shi wants to go back to Lin Luoran as soon as she wakes up. The immortal binding rope that bound her was originally her Dharma treasure, so she naturally put it away. When she takes out the jade map to check the road, she finds red dots flashing. When Guanjing and the others are not far away from her. Li Shi is overjoyed and commands Goldie to chase after them. For once, Li Shi is smart. Seeing that Lin Luoran is running away, she wants to stop when Guanjing and the others so that they can save Sister Lin together. Goldie chases after them all the way, but the light spots keep moving forward. Li Shi doesn't catch up with them until they pass the Monkey Mountain. It is impossible for her to go back and help Lin Luoran. Looking at the surging river behind her, Li Shi holds the bundling rope tightly. She loves to look pretty, but now she looks gloomy. The cultivators of the state of Huaxia have been blocked by the river for 2 days. In the beginning, it was the Vatican and the Japanese who had chased them all the way here. Now, it was the vampires, the Vatican, the Japanese, and the werewolves surrounding the Chinese cultivators. The Vatican and vampires are mortal enemies. When Guanjing has never expected that these people will chase after the cultivators of the state of Huaxia together. If you keep wasting time like this, why don't you hand over the thing and we can open it together? Isn't that better? It is Dana who joined the team on the way. It is strange that there are only 4 vampires, including Dana. Crystal is not here. When Guanjing sneers and ignores Dana. The Japanese in kimono mutters some Japanese, which makes Chu Yuren, a young cultivator who understands Japanese, blush. Looking at the innocent junior sister Li, Chu Yuren is furious, but he doesn't translate these obscene words on the spot. Many forces want to fight with these people. Maybe there are 2 or 3 of them, or maybe 4 or 5. Altogether, there are at least 20 or 30 people surrounding the Huaxia cultivators. There are only 9 people on Wen Guanjing's side. If Wen Guanjing chooses to fight recklessly, the Huaxia cultivators will definitely be injured. Therefore, Wen Guanjing wants to get away from these people as fast as possible. If his flying sword hadn't been damaged by the monster's fatal blow, they wouldn't have been caught up by these people. Thinking of the sheepskin map in the universal sack, when Guanjing's face turns cold. When necessary, they have to fight desperately. One was chasing and the other was fleeing. Naturally, there was defending and attacking. Both sides had a good understanding of each other's strength, and they had also probed the enemy's combat strength. Generally speaking, the Huaxia cultivators are no match for the other countries. However, if they want to snatch the map from Wen Guanjing and the others, they won't be able to survive either. After all, they are not on the same side. Wen Guanjing and the others are not injured because they are afraid of each other. Goldie is hovering above Li Shi'er's head. Lin Luoran only told it to take the human away. Goldie doesn't care about others, so it just hovers lazily. When Li Shi'er is attacked, Goldie swoops down to help her. The foreign cultivators are so upset that they have to avoid the Huaxia female cultivator when they attack. However, the female cultivator is so untactful that she always takes the initiative to join the fight. As a result, her opponents are beaten up by Goldie. Wen Guanjing is very satisfied with Li Shi'er's help. Hearing that Goldie is Lin Luoran's mount, all the Huaxia cultivators are jealous of it. Goldie's performance makes them believe in Lin Luoran's strength even more. It's a pity that Goldie's owner hasn't come yet. Wen Guanjing also wants to go back to help Lin Luoran, but he is chased by a group of pursuers. If he really goes back to save Lin Luoran, it is like bringing a nest of hornets to her. As soon as Wen Guanjing thinks about this, Goldie, who is hovering not far away from them, suddenly screams. Then it flaps its wings and rushes to the sky. The Japanese, who has been jealous for a long time, is delighted. The handsome golden hawk has indeed abandoned these stupid Chinese pigs. Such a wonderful hawk is not worthy of the great Yamato people. The Japanese couldn't help but say in broken Chinese, "Wenjun, now that you've lost another helper, are you still not going to surrender?" Chu Yi is even angrier. The Japanese can speak Chinese, but he said something obscene to Li Shi'er in Japanese. Was he doing it on purpose? Chu Yi is angry. He clenches the weapon in his hand. As soon as Wen Guanjing announces the start of the battle, he has made up his mind to beat the leader of the Japanese first. However, hearing the Nihanese words, Chu Yi can't help but look up. The handsome eagle has been fighting and retreating with Huaxia cultivators these days and is very popular with them. But now, it flaps its wings and flies high. Is the wretched Nihanese really right? Hearing that the cultivators from other countries laugh at Goldie for running away, the Huaxia cultivators are all angry. However, they don't know much about the hawk. Li Shi'er looks at the sky in surprise. Does she not know what the hawk is going to do? Everyone is disappointed about Goldie's departure, but they don't want to believe that the hawk has run away. They are in a dilemma. Wen Guanjing is the only one who sees the surprise in Li Shi'er's eyes and the joy in her eyes. He says, "Is it?" Li Shi nods hard. Her neck is hurting. Goldie flaps its wings and flies down. The foreign cultivators are embarrassed. They don't want to waste time with these insensible Huaxia people anymore. It's rare for them to have a tacit understanding. They all start to attack. The middle-aged balding Japanese has been coveting Li Shi'er for a long time. He sneaks behind her and is ready to attack her. Goldie roars and dives down. They can't help but look up. It turns out that they are too far away to see a man standing on the hawk's back. Lin Luoran flies down from Goldie's back and sees the cultivators of Huaxia being besieged by other countries. What's more, a wretched middle-aged Japanese man is trying to sneak attack Li Shi'er, who is fighting against the enemy. Lin Luoran looks cold but has a warm heart. It's easy to fall in love with someone she likes. Although she hasn't known Li Shi'er for a long time, Li Shi'er is like a little sister to Lin. Lin Luoran is growing up under Lin Luoran's watch. Besides, Lin Luoran hasn't fully recovered yet. Instead of joining the battle and being delayed by the enemies, Lin Luoran decides to end the battle as soon as possible. Having figured this out, Lin Luoran stands up on Goldie's back and summons the bright sword. The long and narrow bright sword is shining with faint blue light. Its smooth shape is so elegant and beautiful. If it is used to kill people, it will be as powerful as the bright sword. Lin Luoran recalls the book of sword spells that she has been studying all the way here. She sneers. Beside the sand river, there is abundant reiki of the water. God is helping her. Lin Luoran slowly infuses reiki into the sword. The magic weapon, which looks like a pearl hairpin, is shining with dazzling light. The sword is getting bigger and bigger. The sword is covered with frost, which is very cold. Lin Luoran is holding a sword in her hand and riding on a hawk. People forget to fight for a moment. Only the Japanese man who is about to attack Lin Luoran doesn't look up because he is too focused. The first movement of the sword spells is based on abundant water reiki. It turns the warmth of water into a silent killing move. It is called Frost's Landing. The misty flying sword is swallowing the light of the sword, which is overflowing with cold sword chi. Everything is covered with frost at night, when no one is aware of it. Little frost flowers appear under the leaves and on the tips of the grass. The nature of frost is transformed from the water. With Lin Luoran's current personal ability, she can't control this form of water without the help of the sword spells and the flying sword. At this moment, Lin Luoran feels that the water reiki above the sand river is gathering restlessly and excitedly. She turns into water and then into frost. Finally, her mind is attached to the bright sword in her hand. At this moment, she is the water reiki molecule, she is the white frost, she is the Frost's Landing, and she is the sharp light of the sword. It is different from the grade 5 magic weapon of the bright snow. Lin Luoran doesn't know that the water sword spell that White Fairy gave her is the top one in her world. These rookies in the level of training chi can't imagine the private goods of the late gathering vitality realm. Lin Luoran has only been studying it for 10 days. This is the first time she uses it except for the demonstration in her mind. However, the power of the advanced sword spell has begun to show in Lin Luoran's hands. The bright sword swallows the light of the sword. The momentum of the sword is amazing, but it is silent. Only the middle-aged Japanese man feels something cold behind his neck. He touches it and finds it is a thin layer of frost. He can't help but raise his head. There is a flash of white light in his retina, and then, there is no then for him. Lin Luoran's sword is silent. When the frost comes, the Japanese man's head will be cut in half. Lin Luoran turns over and lands on the eagle's back. Everyone stares at her and doesn't dare to make a sound. The corpse of the middle-aged Japanese man was placed next to the yellow sand of the river. There was still a puzzled expression on his face, as if he was wondering what that white light was. However, his body had been split into two, and he would never be able to answer his questions. The wound of the body that had been split into two was covered in frost, and not a single drop of blood flowed out. However, everyone felt that the scene was so cold that it was even more chilling than a bloody massacre. Li Shi is the only one who doesn't know that Lin Luoran is behind her. She is so surprised that she rushes to Lin Luoran and pulls Lin Luoran's sleeves. She says pitifully, "Sister, you are finally here. They all bullied me. You have to teach them a lesson for me." Li Shi sweeps the air with her finger. By them, she includes almost everyone except the cultivators of Huaxia. Everyone steps back and is about to cry, "Sister. Bullied?" Chapter 119. Baka. Seeing that his companion had died by the river, the Japanese cultivator finally recovered from his fear and cursed out angrily. Although the Japanese cultivator is obscene, he is still commendable in some aspects. For example, when everyone else is afraid of Lin Luoran, the Japanese cultivator dares to rush forward with his katana. There are many paths of cultivation, not just limited to Taoism. This Japanese cultivator is a master of martial arts in a small country like Neon. He is almost 50 years old, but he started from martial arts. Although he has just stepped into the congenital realm, when Guanjing may not be able to defeat him in close combat. One side of the Japanese sword has a sharp edge, long and narrow. When the Japanese samurai attacks with his sword, Lin Luoran steps back again and again with the sword of bright snow. She won't fight back easily before she finds the flaw of the samurai's sword. Getting entangled in the fight will do her no good, and it will weaken the deterrence she deliberately created. She was not far from the river, and in just a few steps, she retreated above the torrential flood of the yellow sand river. Under the effect of the water spell, the river supported her tiptoes, and she stood on the top of the waves without sinking. It was like Goddess Luo walking on the water. Relying on his internal chi, the Japanese cultivator jumps to Lin Luoran like a reed crossing the river. The Japanese cultivator's katana shines coldly. He wants to cut Lin Luoran in half like the balding Japanese cultivator to vent his hatred. Lin Luoran snorts. The Sword of Bright Snow is a 5th-grade magic weapon. With the help of Reiki, the so-called magic weapons in the mortal world will never be able to resist it. Lin Luoran wants to cut the Japanese samurai in half with her sword. However, on second thought, she doesn't need to do so on the torrent. The louder the better. Lin Luoran has no time to care about the Reiki she has stored these days. She dodges the Japanese cultivator's attack and makes a gesture with her right hand. The Water Dragon Roar is a spell that can be used by cultivators in the middle stage of training chi. It is not a powerful spell, but it is gorgeous and it is the right time to show off. Lin Luoran moves her fingers and makes 72 gestures in an instant. A dragon roar comes from the depths of the yellow sand river. A whirlpool appears on the surface of the water. As the whirlpool gets bigger and bigger, it looks like a thunderstorm. Lin Luoran says, "The spell is finished. Go." A 3-feet-long water dragon suddenly leaped out of the whirlpool and flashed majestically. With a dragon's roar, it swept toward the Japanese samurai. When the waves hit the Japanese samurai, he was shocked. When the water dragon wrapped around him, he realized that it was just water power and was not aggressive at all. The Japanese samurai breathed a sigh of relief and deeply felt that he had been fooled by the Chinese female cultivator in front of him. Just as he was about to use his saber to prove his martial arts, the seemingly powerless and soft water dragon wrapped around him tighter and tighter. When he struggled to circulate his chi, it dragged him into the water. At first, the Japanese samurai was still struggling, popping his head out of the water from time to time. But as time passed, 30 seconds, 1 minute, 5 minutes. After 10 minutes or so, only the waves of the yellow sand river could be seen. Where was the shadow of the samurai's robe? Lin Luoran thinks that this is a water spell that takes advantage of the right time and the right place. It is really unfair to use it on a cultivator who has just started to learn Taoism. However, she is bullying him, so what? Lin Luoran takes a deep breath and finally achieves her goal. The water dragon is powerful and the Japanese cultivator, who is doomed to die, cooperates. The foreign cultivators' necks are stiff. They look at each other and see the fear in each other's eyes. It's okay to grab the treasure, but you have to be alive. Why don't you go first? Dana stops several vampires who want to surround Lin Luoran. Even if they attack together, they can kill the Huaxia female cultivator. However, they don't know how many casualties they will suffer. The vampires look down on the Huaxia cultivator because the Huaxia cultivator has time to cast the mysterious spell. Now they realize that the Eastern cultivators are not weak, but they have never met such a powerful female cultivator. The handsome guy of the Vatican is shocked. How can a girl who looks like an angel in Western mythology be as murderous as a female Tyrannosaurus? Needless to say, the Huaxia cultivators are delighted. Even when Guanjing is not convinced. In terms of strength, Lin Luoran has become the #1 cultivator among the young generation of the Huaxia cultivators. Li Shi-er feels so proud. Not to mention Chu Yi, who is a little bit nationalistic, he immediately lists Lin Luoran in the top 3 of the most admirable list. Chu Yi's grandmaster is in the first place. However, should the second place be Sister Lin, or Brother Wen? Looking at his clueless brother, Chu-yi clenches his fists. He has known Brother Wen for so many years. If he knows that Brother Wen is the third, he will be sad. Sister Lin, we are not familiar with each other yet. Miss Lin, I haven't seen you for a few days. You are still as elegant as before. Dana says casually, breaking the stalemate. Lin Luoran puts on a fake smile. The skin on her face is moving, but she doesn't smile. She is responding to Dana. Who says that foreigners don't know how to play Tai Chi? Dana is good at the so-called noble etiquette. He set her up in the bat cave first, but now he acts as if nothing has happened. Brother, are we going to cross the river? Lin Luoran turns around and asks, showing her back to the enemies. The more relaxed she is, the more afraid these people are to move. Lin Luoran plays the saying, bully the weak and fear the strong, to the extreme. Cross the river. When Guanjing pauses for a second and then nods. In fact, it is the same whether they can cross the river or not. However, if they all cross the river, they will undoubtedly get rid of these hornets. In this case, it is better to cross the river. However, the Yellow Sand River is recorded in the Jade Sheet. It is more than 50 kilometers wide and it is on the surging water. Among the 5 elements, Reiki is mainly of the fire. Even if his flying sword is not destroyed, he is afraid that he will run out of Reiki halfway and he cannot absorb the surrounding water Reiki. However, Lin Luoran's flying sword seems to be born for female cultivators. It is so delicate that it is not equipped with an amplifying magic circle. Seeing him nod, Lin Luoran waves her hand. Goldie flutters its wings and comes down. It rubs her with its head. Lin Luoran whispers in Goldie's ear and Goldie nods reluctantly. Brother, for safety reasons, Goldie can carry 2 people at a time. Let's cross the river first. When Guanjing nods. He and Lin Luoran are in charge of guarding the rear. They arrange Li Shi, and Chu-yi, who are pouting, to get on the back of the eagle. While one side is happy and the other side is angry, Goldie flaps its wings and flies up. As a professional flying Goldie, the eagle is very professional. After a while, there is only a small black dot above the river. Goldie has already flown far away. It only takes Goldie a quarter of an hour to run back and forth more than 50 kilometers. Though it is not as fast as a plane, it is at least as fast as a sports car. Lin Luoran takes out a peach to reward it. Goldie is not tired anymore after being praised by its master. It raises its head and looks around, despising the foreign cultivators who are staring at them blankly. Would a foreign cultivator be stupid? Of course, that's not the reason. They are more embarrassed than stunned. So many of them failed to grab the map from Wen Guanjing's hand, and now they have a strong helper. They push each other and don't dare to do anything rashly. Dana is a bit noble. He doesn't want to waste time here, so he leads the vampires away to find another way. There is no other way. If you stay here, you can only fight with this evil woman. Do you expect her to make peace with you and command the eagle to take you across the river? Stop dreaming. Seeing the foreign cultivators leaving in 2s and 3s, Lin Luoran finally feels a little relaxed. Her internal organs are injured, which can't be healed in a few days. If she continues to fight, even if she wins, her foundation will be damaged. Why bother to do that? Brother, why are they so easy to talk to? Seeing a half-naked werewolf leaving reluctantly, Lin Luoran remembers what Wen Guanjing said outside. Every time the secret land opens, cultivators from different countries will kill each other. Now, why do they seem to be reluctant to fight with their lives? Wen Guanjing smiles bitterly. If you don't kill them so ruthlessly, they won't leave easily. However, it is different from what the minister said. Wen Guanjing thinks for a while and answers, I guess it is because cultivation is getting harder and harder. These foreign cultivators are reluctant to fight with their lives. It is true that cultivation is not easy. After 100 years, only a handful of cultivators from Huaxia can reach the level of laying foundation after they return from the secret land. What about this time? When Guanjing looks at Lin Luoran. Except for Lin Luoran, who is sure that she can reach the level of laying foundation. Lin Luoran sensitively notices the depression in Wen Guanjing's words. She smiles and says with certainty, Brother Wen, you can definitely reach the level of laying foundation. This is not a promise. It is a kind of trust in Wen Guanjing and expectation for the world of cultivation in Huaxia. Wen Guanjing is only half a step behind her. He is at the later stage of training qi. If he can't reach the level of laying foundation, Lin Luoran will be the only one in the young generation of Huaxia. The world is vast. If she is all alone, how lonely will she be? Thinking of the sheepskin map in his arms, when Guanjing becomes more confident. He has always been the benchmark of the young generation of cultivation in Huaxia. If he can't reach the level of laying foundation, how can he build confidence for his school brothers and sisters? He looks at Lin Luoran, who is looking for Goldie on the river, and clenches his fists secretly. If he can't reach the level of laying foundation, how can she call him Brother Wen? Exhaling, when Guanjing feels that the sky is much brighter. Lin Luoran doesn't look back, but she can feel the change of Wen Guanjing's state of mind. It is the same as the epiphany she had in Commander Qin's house. Cultivation, cultivation, cultivation. Without the courage to pursue the Tao of nature, how can one become immortal and be free forever? Goldie appears on the river far away. It has run 4 times. For the last time, only Wen Guanjing and Lin Luoran are left. When Guanjing nods, Luoran, Guanjing, Luoran and she. When Luoran says. When says. When. S Guanjing looks. Gusuan she's. And says. It seems that when Guanjing is looking around. After a while, he puts away the parchment and leads Lin Luoran to the downstream of the river. Lin Luoran follows him in silence. If Wen Guanjing is really going to the bottom of the yellow sand river, he can escape with his pursuers even if Lin Luoran doesn't show up. Lin Luoran doesn't know if he has the idea of leaving his school brothers and sisters on the bank of the yellow sand river and pretending to jump into the water. In fact, he is looking for treasures at the bottom of the river. Lin Luoran and Wen Guanjing are both thinking about different things. It is a bit embarrassing for them to walk like this. Fortunately, after walking for less than an hour, Wen Guanjing seems to have found an accurate landmark. He points at the river and says, "It's down here." Lin Luoran doesn't say much. For a cultivator at the later stage of training qi with the Taoist root of the water dividing spell, is an easy spell. The only thing is that the size of the spell depends on the cultivator's personal ability. Lin Luoran casts a series of spells and shouts, "Open." The surging yellow sand river splits from the bank, revealing a passage that is wide enough for one person to pass through. Even on the bank, the river is dozens of meters deep. What's more, the river is flowing fast and the sand is mixed, so the resistance is great. Lin Luoran frowns and increases the output of Reiki. After a while, she sees a few bluestone steps under the 2 sides of the passage. Here it is. Wen Guanjing's usually expressionless face is happy. It can be seen how much importance he attaches to the place he is going to. Lin Luoran nods, "Let's go down together, brother." They jump to the riverbed. Ignoring the sticky mud, they rush into the passage of the bluestone steps before the water spell disappears. As soon as Lin Luoran retracts her back foot, the river flows back and fills up the place where it was just separated. On the vast yellow sand river, waves roll from time to time, but it is so natural for the river. Lin Luoran can't tell that someone has been under the river. Lin Luoran thinks that it must be damp and dark in such a deep place. However, when she pushes open a dilapidated stone door, she sees a stone path shining with warm light. Every few steps, there are fist-sized beads inlaid on the top of the head. Nobody knows how many years have passed, but the beads have been sending out soft light. The stone path is clean and tidy. On both sides of the path, there are some murals carved with simple lines. The style is simple but vivid. Even when Guanjing, who is anxious to get something, can't help but stop and carefully examine the murals on both sides of the path. The first mural shows several mountains surrounded by clouds and fog. There are many ancient pavilions and palaces. Some people in ancient costumes are sitting under pine trees, meditating by the stream, and some people in long robes with wide sleeves are riding on flying swords. The more Lin Luoran looks at the mountains, the more familiar she feels. Looking at Wen Guanjing's trembling fingers while touching the mural, Lin Luoran comes to a sudden realization. These mountains are also very beautiful in the mural. Aren't they the peaks that were flooded when the Three Gorges Dam was filled? This is. Lin Luoran is so curious that she can't help asking. Wen Guanjing seems to know what she is confused about. He calms himself down and smiles reluctantly. You are right. These mountains used to be the gates of Zhu Mountain. Gates? Lin Luoran is shocked. Since it is a cultivation school, it even allows the Chinese government to store water and build the dam. When did cultivators become so generous? Wen Guanjing's eyes are a little lonely. He explains, in the old days, Zhu Mountain was strong and prosperous. It occupied all the famous mountains in Chuan province. 1,000 years ago, the disappearance of cultivators in the level of gathering vitality made the world of cultivation depressed. Now, even the mountains are full of tourists. It's just a self-deception to occupy those mountains as a school. Besides, there is an inside story behind the Three Gorges Dam. Zhu Mountain will never lose the big picture for a small gain. So, it simply gives up the mountains. Even though Wen Guanjing is being generous, Lin Luoran feels embarrassed. If they give up the gates, it will be a bit shameful even if they have a reason to do so. Lin Luoran asks casually, you already know that this is the underground palace left by the predecessors of Zhu Mountain? Is Wen Guanjing entering the secret land for this underground palace? Lin Luoran feels a bit cold on her back when she comes in with him. What if she accidentally knows the secret of his school? Wen Guanjing shakes his head. If I knew this place earlier, I wouldn't be the only one from the Wen family. Lin Luoran doesn't know whether he is telling the truth or not. She turns to look at the second mural. However, she is stunned by the scene in the mural. Lin Luoran is surprised. You're tuning into the Blissful Bookshelf YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.